a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Did you know that you can watch all your favorite shows right on YouTube? We're live streaming Fescoe and Dusty, Cody and Gold, The Drive, and After Hours all day long. So if you want to look at the beautiful Alex Gold, interact with Cody Tapp in the chat, or gaze at the ruggedly handsome Dusty Likens, just go to YouTube and watch them while you pretend to work. Go to our channel, hit subscribe, and stay up to date with 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Tuesday morning in the flesh. Fescoe, McMorey, Dusty Likens all with you here today on a wonderful Tuesday. Going to be about mid-50s today.
Should be a beautiful day out there. You're going to hit the links, as they like to call it.
Better believe it.
You better get out there today. It's supposed to be 50 all week, though, you know?
12 o'clock tea time, baby.
Oh, wow. You going to be able to get it in?
Well, I can ask you the same question.
It is Tuesday.
I just want to win, Jim.
God, I hope so.
42 seconds in.
Off and running, baby. Off and running. So
I can go ahead and cut Bob saying, are you going to get it in if you want, and we'll be on our way. Yeah, man, it's noon. A little Shamrock Hills, a little course right by the crib. So go out there at noon, play some winter golf as we've moved on from fall golf. Toughest part of the day today will be staying warm and also getting a tee into the ground.
Oh, yeah, that'll be the frozen ground. Yes.
Yeah.
Will you have a drill out there today and you just start to drill like holes in the ground?
I do have an assortment of drill bits, and I do have two power drills I could take out there.
Yeah, you
also
should.
Could take my leaf blower out there as well.
Oh, God. Yeah, they're all over the place, man. I got to get those done. And I just don't know when I'm going to do it because every time I look at it, I'm just like, I've done this 4 or 5 times already, and I'm just so over, the leaves and all that kind of crap. So, yeah, have fun with that out there today.
Should be fun. Should be like, I think they said like 54, 55.
It's going to be beautiful, yeah.
55 cheeseburgers, 55 tots, 55 shakes, 55 fries. So, yeah, it should be a fun day out there today. Last night, Mac, you want to let the people know about how last night pretty much lets you know exactly how the rest of the season should go, because the Chargers beat the Eagles in overtime in one of the worst games I've ever seen in my entire life. 6 turnovers in the first half.
Yeah, 5 by Jalen Hurts alone, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God, that was not good.
Come to Jesus moment. We need more of these in our lives, fellas. We all were wrong. Can we all admit that? We thought at the beginning of the season, we all sat on a soapbox and we said, boy, after that Super Bowl and winning Super Bowl MVP, I think Jalen Hurts has an argument to be one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. Bob, you were.
Yeah, wrong.
Mac, you were.
Correct, because I never said that.
Okay. And I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very, very adamant that he was not. 9 or 10 was the highest I ever put him.
And that's wrong.
I don't even know who the top 5 quarterbacks are in the NFL anymore.
No, I think that's too high.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're going to be making a change this offseason in Philadelphia, whether it's the coach, whether it's the quarterback, whether it's,
No, I was wondering that because if they do catastrophically fail, we know how Philly runs things, right? Like,
Dallas could still win this division.
Dougie P won a Super Bowl 2 years later.
Gone.
See ya. Maybe not even 2 years later. Sirianni got in the Super Bowl. Then they had the failure of the season where they were like 11-1 and then lost every game the rest of the way, and then it was a bad ending. And then they win the Super Bowl, and then this year they're off to a hot start. A lot of people think they have the best roster in football. One of the best teams in football.
Yeah,
and
how's Howie? How's Howie this morning when you guys talked earlier? Good. He's feeling good about himself.
Bob, just like you would say with the Chiefs, it's about execution and coaching.
It
right?
is.
So you can always blame someone else, but I would not blame Howie on this one.
Yeah, and so
who got the quarterback that turned it over 5 times?
Yeah, no doubt.
Also,
who got him to win a Super Bowl and get to 2
and Super Bowl MVP quarterback as well. That's what's weird about this, and that's how things are in Philly. So we'll see what they do, because I was wondering if they do end up failing and not winning the division.
Oh, I'm rooting for Dallas now, and I never root for Dallas.
Yeah, for sure.
This is great drama.
Do you think they would fire Sirianni?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. They wanted him fired all along, in Philadelphia. Then he wins the Super Bowl, and you're like, well, I guess we can't fire him now because he won the Super Bowl. But, I mean, if you go Super Bowl, epic collapse, Super Bowl, epic collapse, who are you? I mean, would the real Nick Sirianni please stand up? Please stand up, because that's what it is. I mean, it's win or collapse, win, collapse, and that's what's going on. And I don't know if I necessarily believe in the character of those guys inside that Eagles locker room. You've been hearing about it all year. The way the Browns handled things going back to last year. 5 interceptions, turnovers, however you want to phrase it. And yes, 2-on-1 play. I've never seen 2 turnovers by one person on the same play in my entire life, let alone 3 turnovers.
Pick, fumble,
on one
maybe
play.
Another fumble. No, it's not a fumble.
I mean, it was bizarre to kind of watch that last night. So I think the Philly fans will be hot and heavy, and I think Nick Sirianni will probably be the first person to go there in Philadelphia. It's quote-unquote easier to find a head coach than it is to go out there and find a quarterback. But, I mean, Philadelphia is going to be in business probably this offseason. And if this team doesn't believe in their quarterback, then you can't go forward with that quarterback. Now, hindsight being 2020, I was listening to our sister station in Philadelphia this morning, because why wouldn't you, right? And so I was listening to them, and they immediately start with the same stuff we talk about here. Why are we not running the football more? And so I started to think about that around this league. What a pandemic we have of not running the football for certain teams in the NFL, because you got Saquon Barkley in Philadelphia. He is your best offensive weapon. He's your best offensive player. And you're taking the ball out of his hand to give it to Jalen Hurts, who we saw last night, not so good at this point in time. So everybody's complaining about the same things in the NFL, and it's running the football, it's the quarterback play, it's the head coach. I mean, Philadelphia's a dumpster fire, man. They deserve every bit of that.
Does Jalen go with him?
Probably not, but that's probably for money purposes, not because he's good.
Yeah.
Probably just because they have to keep him for a little bit longer.
Well, you say go with him, like Sirianni's going to be hired again?
No,
Do you
I'm
think
just
he
saying,
gets
like,
a job?
out the door.
Yeah.
Like, do they just clear it? Because Roseman, he's the most active GM when it comes to trades and stuff like
he
that.
Would trade him.
Trade, I don't think you release Jalen Hurts.
No, not like that. But like, would you be like, Sirianni's gone?
Yes,
Big Dom definitely gone.
Yeah, of course, Big Dom.
You signed up for, man. You're his bodyguard. When he ain't got a job, you ain't got a job. And I was just wondering if what would happen if they did move on from Sirianni. Would they move on from Jalen Hurts and just try to rebuild it and keep what they do have, which is the defensive line? Now, again, their offensive line pretty banged up like the Chiefs. I mean, we saw guys falling left and right in that game last night, and all of a sudden they're like, I wonder if they'd knock. I think Troy Aikman was like, I wonder if they'd knock on Jason's door, what he'd say.
No.
I'm not answering.
Well, unless you're Phillip Rivers and you decide to answer the door
yes.
because, you got grandchildren running around and you're tired of them.
It's today.
Which is a true story. But no, I think.
Is he going to play for Indianapolis?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's
Hope so.
Yeah. Oh, I hope so. I
yes,
hope he
please,
signs.
please.
Please. But then his Hall of Fame is going to reset, and he's a semifinalist this year. So if he steps on the field, he's got to wait another 5 years to get to the Hall of Fame. Have more grandchildren. 2020 is the last
when
time he played.
When they lost to the Bills, and they almost beat the Bills in the playoffs?
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly
they were this
right.
close, dude.
Yeah.
We almost got the Colts.
Yeah, that was that game. That's the last game he's played.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes fast, Dusty. I'm going to tell you, it's going to start speeding
I
up
didn't know
even
it'd been,
faster.
I guess if he's up for a candidacy of the Hall of Fame, been 5 years.
Because I was the same way. I'm going, 5 years he's been out already? I feel like oh my God, it has been that long. So, I mean, the time, man, it just goes. And so if you're the Eagles, if you're the Eagles, let's just talk about them for a second. You fire Sirianni. Yeah, I think you do need to part ways with Jalen Hurts and trade him and start fresh there. What would you guys do? Like, I wouldn't do that here if Andy decides to retire or leave or something like that. Obviously, you're not going to do that here, and L.A. probably. But I think Philadelphia is one of those places that, nobody's really in love with Jalen Hurts there in Philadelphia. They feel they could probably do better at the quarterback position. And if you're going to make a change at the head coach, I probably would try to trade that quarterback this offseason and let the new head coach come in kind of with a clean slate to kind of start over. They allowed that for Andy Reid here, in Kansas City, even with Matt Castle under contract, and I know how people feel about him, but immediately he went and changed and got the quarterback that he wanted. And if you're going to hire an offensive head coach, let that guy have the quarterback he wants. So there's no excuses from day one. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I think that Roseman's got a sack on him, so I don't know if he would. Could you get a first for Jalen?
No, I don't think so.
So you would draft a quarterback, keep Hurts for a year, have the in-house competition kind of brew, and then at that point, you wait for another season of faltering quarterbacks and stuff like that, and you say, hey, Arizona, here's Jalen. We've got a guy we drafted last year. Let's say the Philadelphia Eagles draft Mendoza.
Yeah, right. If they somehow get up to number 1 or 2. Well, the Giants have the number 1 pick right now, and obviously they're not taking Mendoza.
No, they're going to take offensive linemen.
Is that a good spot to be in, drafting number one and having your quarterback in place?
Yes.
I think it's a great spot to be
Yes.
in.
Because
Right?
you just get to go to every left tackle and say, who's the best?
Who do I
Okay,
want?
that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just wondering about
Titans,
that.
Browns are in that situation too. A lot
Exactly.
of the top picks don't
Yeah.
need QB.
Well,
because
the
the
Browns
Browns-
do, and the Titans may.
Well, I guess we'll see what the Browns
The Browns
do.
just decided they're going to go Shador Sanders the rest of the season.
yeah, the rest of the
so we'll
season.
see.
Yeah,
Maybe
but are they
he's the
going?
guy.
Are they going to go? Because Deshaun Watson's going to be on the roster next year. They've already said that.
Watson,
No, they've already said that
Like,
yesterday.
no.
He's going to be on the roster next year. And so if you're Stefanski, you probably want to run out of town real fast, take your Coach of the Year awards, and get the hell out of Cleveland with that Deshaun Watson fiasco that's going to take place next year. But again, great entertainment for us. It's wonderful.
Oh, yes,
it's
please, all this.
fantastic. Give me all the drama and all the nonsense, as long as it's not involving my team.
I would trade Jalen Hurts to Pittsburgh. I think that would fit perfectly.
That would be a nice fit. Who's going to be the coach in Pittsburgh, though?
Well, that's a
right?
good question.
And
Yeah.
so, you know,
Yeah, if Tomlin's still there, it works out great. And I think
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts has got the cliches just like Tomlin does. The Pittsburgh fans are going to love his attitude. They're going to be super hopeful because they haven't been a part of this Jalen Hurts experience.
are they though? Or are they too close to Philadelphia to
Maybe.
you
Could
know,
be a
like
good
it's only
point,
4
yeah.
hours or something there to Pittsburgh? Like, yeah, no, we don't want this
Yeah,
guy.
we know that story.
Yeah, we've seen that thing, but I don't know. I mean, you know, I think if you're a team in the NFL in need of a quarterback, Jalen Hurts would be a nice option for you if you get him with the right head coach. You know, and sometimes changing a situation and getting out of a situation like he's in Philadelphia, getting that scenery change, that could be the greatest thing ever. Ask Alex Smith how that worked. And if Jalen Hurts got paired with an Andy Reid type of coach that could turn quarterbacks around and make them better, Jalen Hurts may get a rebirth on his career. Or if Philadelphia hires a guy like Andy Reid to bring in and say, hey, we're in love with Jalen Hurts, we just need to kind of fix him a little bit and do that. And that's what they need to do. It's like when Charlie Weiss took over as offensive coordinator and he said, my job is to fix the quarterback. And Matt Castle went out and had 25 touchdowns that year and was great in 2010, right? Fix the quarterback. Sometimes it just takes the right voice in there or an adult in the room. And don't forget, too, and I'm not making excuses for Jalen Hurts, this is like his fourth offensive coordinator now in 4 years, right?
Yep, that's true.
You know, every year he's changing offensive coordinators. That's not easy to do. I always equate it to you speak fluent Spanish, they drop you in the middle of France and say, find your way home, and you don't know the language. It's not easy to do. And so after 4 years of 4 different coordinators, I'm sure he's got a lot of nonsense going on in his head, and left means right, right means left, up means down, and he's like, I just don't know anymore, you know? So there is something to be said for that, but having 5 turnovers in a game like he did last night is just, I mean, you can't throw an interception in overtime. But again, why are you throwing the football at that point in time? You have Saquon Barkley on your team.
Who balled? Coming up on the other side, good news, bad news, and we have a debate here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is Leo Chanel, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens, and that cool weather's moving in, that hot weather's moving out, but keep it hot in the bedroom. And if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction, just remember that ED is nothing more than a medical condition. Studies show that around 50% of men over the age of 50 have some form of the condition, and young men can be affected by ED as well. But what you may not know is that ED stems from a variety of causes, and these often call for differing treatment strategies. And that's what Heartland Men's Health does. Heartland Men's Health treatments work when the pills or the herbals fail. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%. Some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. Heartland Men's Health successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes a medical consult with a licensed medical provider and a T and PSA test. And if medically advised, a test dose. And if the test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. They have an expert staff, and if you are like a lot of men, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. They have 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Kansas; Independence, Missouri, between Blue Springs and Lee Summit; and in North Kansas City. So call my friends at Heartland Men's Health today at 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
This holiday season, give your family, clients, and coworkers the gift of Booth Creek Wagyu beef. Booth Creek Wagyu gift boxes provide the world's best steaks, burgers, hot dogs, jerky, sausages, and seasonings that are changing the way America eats beef. Choose from mouth-watering options like the classic sirloin box for less than $100. Or go big with the amazing Grill Masters Reserve box. Order yours today at boothcreekwagyu.com or visit one of their 2 convenient locations at 95th and Knoll or 135th Street in Metcalf.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a little more.
I'm worth a lot more.
You are worth more, and your car is worth more at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Thanks for calling the Holiday Gift Line from the Missouri Lottery. If you still have presents to buy, don't panic. Missouri Lottery Holiday Scratchers and Draw Games are perfect for everyone on your list 18 and over. And you don't even need a gift receipt. Happy holiday gifting from the Missouri Lottery. Play responsibly.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right. Y'all gotta try that Febreze car. Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
800-676-1090. 800-676-1090. 800-676-1090. That's 800-676-1090.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify.
Paid for by Airtime Media.
The Chiefs have been scoring a ton of points lately, and that means I'm saving a ton of money at Hy-Vee. And now I have even more reason to cheer on the Chiefs because I score big fuel savings when I shop Hy-Vee the day after any Chiefs game. Win or lose, I'll earn a fuel saver discount equal to the Chiefs score based on the amount I spend. If the Chiefs score 35 points, I save 35 cents a gallon when I spend $35 on groceries. So the more we score, the more I save, only for my friends at Hy-Vee.
It's Thirsty Thursday at Hy-Vee. Time to stock up the bar and fill up your tank. Earn 50 cents per gallon fuel savings on every $50 purchase of wine, beer, hard seltzer, and spirits. Mix and match all your favorite libations and get a 50-cent fuel saver with every $50 purchase. Stack up the savings and your next fill-up could be free. Don't miss Thirsty Thursday at your Kansas City, Missouri Hy-Vee. Product promotion differs by location. Offers valid where legal, available while supplies last.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This report brought to you by Peters Clothiers. Northland 29 northbound gets heavy at North Oak Traffic Way and is slow up towards the 169 highway interchange with construction blocking the left lane. Only scheduled till 6, so that should clear any time now. Men, you need to look great for holiday events. Let Peters Clothiers give you the perfect fit you're looking for, from sportswear to suits and sports coats in sizes to fit every man. PetersClothiers.com or stop in today at 124th and State Line. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Getting right back into it. Chargers successful last night. Something that you didn't want to see if you're a Chiefs fan hoping for the playoffs. Chargers' brutal schedule moving forward. Chiefs, Dallas, Houston, and Denver, I think is the way their season ends.
Yikes.
Yeah. And as Bob said last night, it was right there. Just like the entire season. Everything was right there. And just didn't take advantage of it. 1-6 in one-score games this year, not good. And just mishaps.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I mean, you start to look at the schedule for the Chargers, you're like, man, they got a murderer's row the rest of the way. And man, the Chiefs, if they just would have won on Sunday. But you know what? The just would have, I mean, that kind of started really in Jacksonville in week 5. We've been, kind of talking about the what should haves for the season and how the thing should have gone. And it never changed. And that's the big problem that you have to start to question. And we'll talk more about Andy Reid around 7 o'clock. But you have to start wondering, is his message still getting through to these guys? Because they never really responded to Andy Reid this year at all, at any point of the year. They never responded to really anything. I shouldn't say Andy Reid, but he's the head football coach. But they haven't responded to anything all year. Every time that we've drawn the line in the sand and said, this is the test, this is the moment, they've collapsed. And that's just a team that just wasn't there this year. I mean, you start to look back at, all of this, and you start to, piece things together from what we saw, after the Super Bowl loss to where we are right now. And it all makes sense why this team is out of the postseason and sitting there with a 6-7 record. I mean, I think looking back at everything, right, you start to say, okay, this all makes sense. This all adds up. This all checks out. And, they just never really got this thing moving in the right direction after that brutal Super Bowl loss. And here we sit now not going to the playoffs this year when everything was right there in front of you. Everything was there, And
we know that the season's gone soured, which is one of my new favorite vocabulary words, as a descriptive. Is that a verb? Am I ruining this whole thing?
What, season's gone sour?
Sour. Or like they've soured.
The season is sour.
The season is
Yes.
sour. Yes.
It's fun. It's a good word, right?
Hello, America.
Yeah. Is when the fan base has completely shifted and turned on none other than Jay Binkley.
That's the thing, yeah.
Like, it's down bad.
Oh, yeah.
When the voice of reason, the man, the mock master.
Of course.
You're mid-major Mac?
Yeah.
He's mock master Bink.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the text line turned on him.
Yeah,
He was
text
on
line
After
turned on
Hours last
Binkley.
night. Jay
Yep.
Binkley holding the fort down. An idiot, man. Yeah, no doubt. Jay, weeks ago, you were saying the Chiefs should pay Rashee Rice. I remember that because I was driving through Freddie's drive-in and hearing you say Mahomes is his guy. Weeks later, you want them to draft a running back. Sad.
Well, what does one have to do with the other, though? You can still pay Rashee Rice and draft a running back.
I'm sorry, draft a wide receiver.
Oh, draft a wide receiver. Well, they're probably going to have to go there. I think I'd fire the wide receiver coach, that Connor Embry guy. He stinks, and so does that position right now.
I'm with you.
It's very inconsistent. And people,
Adjective.
People want to talk about, what you're going to do this offseason, how you're going to change things up. This Connor Embry guy at the wide receiver coach.
He's soured.
I honest to God, I don't know who he is, and I had to look it up yesterday to find out who it is, because this wide receiver position right now, guys, is ass, and there's no other way to say it. Xavier Worthy has not improved one iota. I don't think he knows what the field markers mean. Rashee Rice is as inconsistent as they come when at the wide receiver position. Hollywood Brown and Juju, they're veteran guys, but they do whatever they do out there. But who's really taken it to that next level? Who's become better as a wide receiver under this Connor Embry guy? So if you're looking to make changes this offseason, I would 1,000% start with the wide receiver coach, because I don't know what that guy's bringing to the table right now. It's an undisciplined position. It's an underachieving position. It's a position that isn't getting better and isn't doing what we need in order to enact the offense that we have. And so there's going to be sacrificial lambs, I am sure, at the end of this season. That Connor Embry guy should be number one on the list of guys that got to go, because that wide receiver position is totally stale, stinks, and sucks.
This will be the second time they lead the league in drops in the last 3 years. Connor Embry was on this team with the Tony, with the MVS, Hartman, when they couldn't catch a pass. No one was getting better. Like you mentioned it, like Rashee Rice, remember him in his first season in those last 8 games? How awesome that was. Yeah. How raw he looked, but we were able to use him. Like, what is Rice? And I know
he's not as good as he was.
He hasn't gotten better.
No, he is not. He's gotten worse.
And Connor Embry, I'm all for youth and young guys, me being one, but he is really young, and that becomes a detriment when you're not doing what you need to do. I'm looking at your age at some point, right? I don't know. Like, I'm just like, dude, you've been here for a while.
He's been here 7 years. Did you realize that Connor Embry? Yeah, he was like an assistant at something, and then he was a running back guy for a hot minute, and then they moved him over to wide receivers. And I don't know. Let me ask you this though. I mean, you're a coach, and you're constantly changing your position groups. How's that good for the team? How does that make sense when you take a guy that was coaching? This is what he did in Philadelphia, Andy Reid. There was a guy by the name of Juan Castillo, right? Okay.
Great right fielder for the Texans.
Fantastic. And he was a defensive line coach.
Okay.
And then Andy Reid made him the offensive coordinator the following year. And then they fired Juan Castillo. And you took a guy that was the defense. You're like, so here's why this is important. You took a guy that was a defensive line coach and made him the offensive coordinator. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And Juan Castillo was fired soon afterwards, and everybody was mad at him. But that's kind of what we have going on with this Connor Embry guy. You got a running back coach that now is coaching receiver. It's a completely, totally different spot.
So that's why they drafted Sky Moore.
And
exactly.
Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, they brought in kind of a running back. Xavier Worthy, kind of that running back. The kid Rashard Smith, kind of a running back, turned wide receiver. But that position has given us nothing really this year. And that was a position that we were very excited about, going into camp. We had the stupid EGE thing, everybody's gonna eat, and that fizzled out like a wet fart in Vegas. I mean, that never amounted to anything. I mean, everybody can't eat if you can't catch, and so I think they need a different wide receiver coach. I think they need a veteran guy at that position to make those wide receivers better. Because quite honestly, other than Tyreek Hill, really, who have we seen grow into that position and become a better wide receiver once they came here to Kansas City? I haven't seen that. And so that's where I would start the house cleaning, is with the wide receiver coach, and get a guy in here who could take this talent that these guys may or may not have and try to realize that talent.
It's like I said in the beginning of the year, this seems a lot similar to the Royals season, right? Kind of the last couple of weeks until hope was completely vanished. You look at where we're putting blame. There were some people that were like, oh, fire Q. It's not Q's issue. He's going to be fine. He's not that guy. Like, you don't need to fire your manager. And then all of it shifted towards Alex Zumwalt, right? You have people out here be like, maybe Andy should hang it up. It's not happening. Okay, who are we going? Embry. How about that guy? Why not? Well, the only receiver that's ever been good is Tyreek Hill. Well, here's the secret. I don't know everybody knows this. Tyreek Hill is a generational talent. Tyreek Hill is a Pro Bowl Hall of Fame wide receiver. You may not like who he is as a person. You may not like who Antonio Brown was as a person. But those guys were, and Antonio Brown never get to the Pro Bowl or the Hall of Fame. I don't understand that. But again, that's who they were, right? You look at Zumwalt. Well, who's he really developed as a hitter? Bobby Witt Jr.? Well, Bobby Witt Jr. is a generational talent.
Yeah, Salvi gives him a lot of credit too, but that's a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, like, I guess you could kind of put that, because Kelsey could give him a lot of credit too if you really want to get into there and be like, well, Embry kind of helped me out too, but that's where we're at, like, right? Like, that's parallels to the season.
Yeah, but he's the tight end guy. That Doug Melvin or something like that is the tight end coach. That's Travis's guy, and so he's been. But this Connor Embry, you're right. I mean, you're making a great case right now for why Connor Embry should no longer be part of this coaching staff. Not one wide receiver has gotten better. Not one has really developed. And we want to blame the offensive line, or we want to blame the play calling and all this kind of stuff. But when you really start to peel the onion back on it, the wide receiver position that we're always seemingly excited about really never lives up to anything, and it never does anything that really is spectacular. I think we're all kind of living on the wide receiver days of Tyreek Hill, as Dusty mentioned, and he is a Hall of Famer and a generational talent. The job as a coach is to make your guys better, too. We talk about putting in position to be successful, but I need to see growth. I've not seen any growth out of any wide receivers on this team since, and you're right, Dusty, since Tyreek Hill. He's the only wide receiver that we've really seen grow and blossom and take that next step. All we've seen is a bunch of guys with potential that don't realize their potential, that are very inconsistent.
So they're going to bring Tyreek Hill in the back next year.
Oh, God, no.
That's like horseradish.
What about the quarterbacks coach?
What's his name?
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Dave or something like that. I've seen him before.
Girardi.
Girardi, yeah, Girardi. Joe,
David Girardi.
David Girardi.
Never heard of him.
I
like Joe Girardi a lot.
Maybe, I don't.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't
seen
know.
a guy maybe develop some habits, and maybe someone else coming in and say, "Listen, man, I've watched these last 2 years. Here's what's happened. Here's how we can get back to what we were," kind of thing. I don't know.
Mahomes needs a hard reset. I mean, he's not above complaining about it as well. And you're right. The last 2 years, maybe he has developed some bad habits and gotten into some bad habits. I think the biggest habit that Patrick Mahomes has right now that's bad, I think he's got PTSD back there from bad offensive line play, and it doesn't feel like he's able or willing or can give this offensive line an opportunity to really do its job, Dusty. And they were good the other day with all those backups in there. I talked to a friend of mine yesterday who's not a Chiefs fan at all, not really an NFL fan. And even he's like, damn, that offensive line was good the other night. And I'm like, yeah, I thought the exact same thing. I thought it was really, really good the other night. And so I think somebody needs to get with Patrick and say, you've got to start trusting this offensive line. Otherwise, you're never going to be what you were.
Yeah, I think the whole thing, it's a mixed bag of issues that have gone on. And I think it's a lot of like in-house. Like that's why I said I think it's a lack of communication. I don't think that the biggest problems are on the field. And I've said that for 2 weeks now. I think the biggest problem that this team has is inside the walls of One Arrowhead Drive. And that's where it all begins, right? Like that's where the whole planning of the week happens. That's where Andy gets in his office at 4:00 in the morning, starts putting everything together, and then the words get spread around, and then it's like, okay, I guess this is what we're going with. It'd be like if you came in every day and Mac and I had these good ideas or these good topics, and you're like, nope, this is what we're going to do today. And you're like, okay, I guess that's what we're going to talk about.
And, so you've been inside the walls of Arrowhead because you're calling it like it is.
But that's just what it feels like, and it's to me. And we'll get into Andy Reid a little bit later today because I think I have a really good analogy of what I've lived through and what I think a lot of people have as well. And I think it'll be crystal clear what I'm getting at. But I think that's where the main issue has. And I think that's where the Mahomes debate kind of brings in. By the way, breaking news: it is 6:30. 6:30. Normally the library. Boss said no more library. Library's closed forever.
Wait, hang on a second.
Yep.
So the boss said that, and you're listening.
Yep.
Huh. Novel. The Chiefs should try that.
Yeah. So I figured these would tie in together. So yeah, the library is dead and gone. It was a good run. It was a fun time.
If you were Juwan Taylor, you'd keep doing the library.
Yep. And we're just going to clean some things up on the show. So we're going to try to get better at things. And that's on me. So listen here. So we had a Mahomes debate in the rundown here about, where do you put blame on the season? And like I said, I think the biggest issue with this season has been communications within the four walls of the building, not necessarily the sidelines or the goalposts. And I think the reason for that, and the analogy that I just gave, is like if Bob were to come in every morning and say, here's the show, just, look over it and just react to that. Mac and I would be checked out by at least 2 weeks into the show. And side note, that's not how this show goes. Mac has a few ideas, Bob has a few ideas, I'll have a few ideas, then something will happen in the world and we'll just pivot to wherever we have to go. But I think the issue with Mahomes is, I think the communication between he and Reid, because I do think that there is the issue of let the kid do his thing. Right. And I've said this before, when you were younger and, you left the house, your parents were like, where are you going? When you could come back or, whatever. And you were always, attentive and be like, yes, absolutely. I'll be back at 7. I'm just going to go check out something real quick. I'll be right there. And I think now that you have Mahomes at 30, I think you talk about a hard reset. I think this is where it needs to get to the point where it's like, all right, spread your wings and fly.
Yeah.
Like, get out there. I trust that you can do that. And I think that's part of what we see, because Max showed us a video yesterday of like the routes that were ran. And I'm like, that's not Mahomes drawing that play up. That's Andy. And that play is not working. That play that no one is open. And we're asking ourselves, like, is Mahomes holding the ball too long? Why is he running too much? Maybe he has fear of the offensive line. Or maybe he has a fear that he just doesn't trust his receivers to get open because of the routes that have been developed.
Well, and that goes back to Connor Embry, as we were talking about as well, with the wide receiver coach. If they're not getting open, that's on him. I mean, there's nothing else I can say about that, right, from the wide receiver standpoint. But I also think when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, at times, he's still trying to make the spectacular. And I was sitting in the sauna yesterday having this conversation with one of the guys. We were kind of just talking about, whatever, sports or whatever. And one other guy, kind of piped up a little bit, who I don't know his name. I give him credit. And he said to me, he goes, and a younger guy too, very, very, probably like your age, I would say,
Okay.
maybe a little bit older than that, but nowhere near the gray hairedness that I got sitting in there. Right. And it was a really, I thought, provoking comment.
By the way.
Platinum, is that what it is?
nowadays,
Yeah. Amanda, who's been cutting my hair for 20 years, she goes, you've really gone gray gracefully. I was like, thanks,
Grayscale.
and this was last week. I mean, it's just like you're going gray gracefully. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it looks good
I
on you, though.
appreciate that. Yeah. It looks real good, right? And so he said to me, he goes, Patrick Mahomes still makes the spectacular play. He goes, but too many people judge him making a special play as being a great quarterback. And I think that's where we are. I think for Patrick Mahomes right now, he can still make the spectacular play. It's when you're not making a spectacular play, it's okay to make a normal play. It's okay to make an average play. It's okay to throw it out of bounds and spike it in the dirt and eat it. Like even Jalen Hurts last night at one point earlier in the game saved the sack by just kind of throwing it away and whatnot as he was going down. There are many opportunities where my wife and I'm sure you guys are dealing with this at your homes as well, you're yelling at the TV, throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball. Like the only sack that Esapole gave up or pressure that he gave up on Sunday was after 4.2 seconds.
Yep.
That's a long time. And
an eternity.
It is. And Patrick Mahomes needs to have that internal clock working in his head where he's going 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. And if nobody's open, throw it away or run with it. Don't leave yourself out there in the pocket to get sacked or to hold the ball. Every play does not have to be wasp. Every play does not have to be look to your left, throw to your right. And I think for Patrick Mahomes, and Andy as well, they love that spectacular that they've forgotten how to do the normal. And they've forgotten how to be just a quarterback. He expects every play to be this spectacular, oh my God, play. Meanwhile, he's leaving yards on the field, turnovers on the field, plays on the field for not doing the normal stuff because he's always trying to do the spectacular. I need Patrick Mahomes this offseason to get back to being more of a normal quarterback and to really trust his offensive line because they've been there for him this year. This has not been an offensive line issue this year. I know people want to point to that constantly. They had 4/5 of their line out with guys we've never heard of before playing, and Patrick Mahomes had 4.2 seconds to throw a football and still couldn't get rid of it in time. Yes, are the wide receivers not getting open? Sure. But if you know that, then you got to throw the football away. You can't sit back there and take unnecessary sacks.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's what makes him the best, and it's also his greatest weakness, right? Like he believes he can do everything, so he tries to all the time. And at some point, you've got to just take what's given. And we've seen him do that to the best of anyone. 2022 and 2023, like he learned how to matriculate the ball down the field. And I guess my argument would be that what's changed is the team, not as much him. And yes, he's still culpable. He still needs now to get back to that. No matter what's changed, he still needs to figure out how to get back to it.
He needs to evolve with the team,
He's got to evolve. I would just argue that the reason that left wasn't because Mahomes forgot how to. It's because the team kind of eroded around him.
I think there's just a lot of staleness in the offense. I think
it's so predictable.
I think it's one of those things where if you've been the best for so long and no one's taken it away from you, why change?
Why change?
You know what I mean? Well, what we do is great. What we do is fine. Nobody else has stopped it yet. We're always in the playoffs. We always go to the Super Bowl. We always go to the AFC Championship game. Until you can beat it, then prove it to us. And maybe that's what they needed was somebody to come in and kick them right in the teeth and say, hey, that doesn't work anymore, and we're going to show that to you. Plus, catch a freaking ball.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
That's the thing about Mahomes' numbers, where the stat lines do lie, is in that game against Sunday night against Houston, 7 drops.
Yeah, you got to catch the football.
That's 7 completions. I mean, Kareem Hunt had a first down that they had glossed over in the play where you could hear Chris Collinsworth say, man, you could just feel like that was one of those plays that Andy had hidden away for the right time. And he threw that little out, and Kareem Hunt just...
It was a bad throw, though, by Mahomes. He was off contorted, and that's a hard catch to make. A better ball, he makes that catch and whatnot.
Rice's drops were crucial. Kelsey's drop at the end of the game was crucial. And it's not all been Patrick. Yes, there can be blame, and he will sit there in front of that microphone after every game and say, I can be better, I need to clean things up. And you actually believe that because he does thrive on perfection. He's never going to be perfect, but by God, if you're going to take that away from him, then you're going to ruin him because that's how he motors his engine. It's just, I've got to get better. It's like, you went 27 to 31 and they won you. Yeah, I left 2 incompletions out there. It's, the annoying golfer you play with, man, you shot 78, could have been 75. Are you kidding me?
But that's why those guys are great, though,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why those guys are great. And
exactly.
I think Patrick Mahomes needs a long off season to kind of contemplate things and figure out where he is. He is definitely going to get it. Because, I heard Boomer Esiason say this yesterday. And that was after the Sunday night game. And it was not a great football game. And is it his worst? I don't know. I couldn't tell you what his worst game is because he's had so many great ones, obviously. But I think he needs a hard reset this offseason. It's okay to reinvent yourself and reinvent who you are and change as the game's changing. Because the other thing that I kind of realized, not yesterday, but, and I'm sure you guys have realized this, raise your hand if there's a team in the NFL that's scared of the Chiefs anymore or cares that they're playing against Patrick Mahomes anymore. It's not unique and it's not special anymore. It's not. It's a normal, average at best offense that this organization has. And so the fear factor's gone. Everybody believes they can win when they play against this team now. They don't come in freaked out, and they're not losing games on Tuesday like they were, years ago where they couldn't figure this thing out. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid in this offense have been got. Now, what are you going to do now that you've been got? How are you going to change and evolve and get better so you don't get got again? Because they've been got. They've been had. Everybody knows what's happening with this offense. Nothing is unique. Nothing is scary. Nothing is different.
No cap.
Right.
What?
It's true. Idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. It's true.
They're stale.
Yeah.
They're stale.
Yep. Boring.
Yep, unfortunately. And the best thing you can do is take it all in the offseason, come back next year, and next thing you know, you go on another run. So we'll get into Tough Tuesdays on the other side. Myself, Bob, and Mac, we've all got options here. And then we'll get into what I have as a Andy Reid analogy that I think works here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
This is Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for K-State athletics. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, friends, if you got somebody that works in a high school, kids in a high school, you teach in a high school, you know anybody that's any way associated with a high school, you need to listen up because the Sheet Metal Workers, local number 2, are back with their largest high school enrichment grant ever. $20,000 going towards upgrades and technology with no strings attached. Now, it's not just a technology award. I was talking to some teachers yesterday at Olathe East. They're like, can we apply for this if it's sports? Yes. Can we apply for this if it's English? Yes. Can we apply for this if it's, shop class? Yes. Whatever it is that you need, apply for this grant. It's $20,000. There's no strings attached, and the entire $20,000 goes to the winning school. So you're going to be able to do so many cool things with this because of the Sheet Metal Workers local number 2. This is what these guys and gals do in Kansas City. They do great projects around town, and then they give back. They give back to the community all the time. So $20,000 towards upgrades and technology. Nominate your high school now at helpmymocanschool.com. That's helpmymocanschool.com and apply for that $20,000 enrichment grant for the Sheet Metal Workers local number 2 at helpmymocanschool.com.
Guys, you've heard of TRT, but you have no idea what testosterone can do for you. Once you start treatment, you'll wish you'd done it sooner. All the guys I know go to Synergen X and Low T Center for their TRT needs. The TRT test is free, not hundreds of dollars. The test is pure, not compounded. Guys feel full of energy, not like they're still waiting for it to kick in. So get in now for your free TRT test. No appointment necessary before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com.
Hi, I'm John Ray, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. When you buy an engagement ring or fine jewelry gift from Shane Company, you get more than what you paid for. Our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. It covers everything. There's no fine print. You'll get unlimited cleanings, resizings, and repairs. Plus, it even protects your engagement ring's center stone. We stand behind the quality of our jewelry, and that's our gift to you this holiday. Peace of mind. Because a friend knows the best things in life are free. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon. Hello? You won't believe where I am. Are you running? Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
800-676-1090. 800-676-1090. 800-676-1090. That's 800-676-1090.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify.
Paid for by Airtime Media.
Hey, Missouri, if you haven't heard by now, good news. FanDuel Sportsbook is live in the Show Me State, and they're kicking things off with an offer that's tough to beat. Right now, new customers in Missouri can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or more, you can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. So download FanDuel today and head to FanDuel.com/Missouri and join the excitement. Remember, new Missouri customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. Because Missouri, it's time to play your game of FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard. Visit eatandys.com to find the location nearest you. Top your day with a smile.
Let me tell you about my good friend Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. He's from Kansas City, never misses a game, and serves the world's finest frozen custard. Tailgate with a pick six, or grab a freshly made custom treat before or after a game. And tell him Mitch and Andy sent you.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Kansas side, things get pretty heavy. 70 eastbound approaching 635. Construction takes away the right lane and keeps things very slow through that interchange. Missouri side, Blue Parkway westbound, heavy approaching Nolan, about a mile back up there. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Diving back into it, it is a tough Tuesday here on Fescoe and Dusty with Mac Morey as well. I can't think of any other team or fan base to think of a tough Tuesday than those Indianapolis Colts. Man, the NFL season is a dog, dude. Like, right there the whole year. And then you see Daniel Jones get the injury a couple weeks back. He pops up on the injury report before they play the Chiefs. They lose to the Chiefs in overtime, knowing Jacksonville's right on the horizon for the division lead. And then Daniel Jones plays in that game and tore his Achilles in the opposite leg that he had fractured and had surgery or will have surgery on that leg. That sucks, dude. And then their backup quarterback, Riley Leonard, he's now injured. Gosh. And their reports that one Phillip Rivers is taking phone calls and talking with Indianapolis.
I think he's actually showing up there.
Can you do
the workout?
I was wondering, can you do the snip, snap, and just go get Joe Flacco again?
I was listening to some people talk about that yesterday. I think I was listening to WFAN, and they were talking about that, right? They're like, it's too bad that the trade deadline is already come and gone. Maybe the NFL should not have a trade deadline in season for instances like this, or maybe there's an emergency break glass in case of major injury where you can go out. The only way they were like, you can get Joe Flacco is who's he playing for now? Cincinnati, right? If they released him and then he could sign, with the Indianapolis Colts. Damn. But, I don't know why they would, release him at this point in the season, but unless, give him the opportunity to go play for the Colts. But let me ask you guys this. Would you rather be a Colts fan today or a Chiefs fan today?
Chiefs.
Of course, right? Yeah. Based on the way that the season's gone, okay, would you rather have what the Colts had this year or what the Chiefs had this year?
Chiefs.
100%. There's nothing worse than having that Well, it's like going to a strip club and leaving alone. That's what the Colts are. I mean, there's no other way to put it, right?
Just sucks.
That's the way it is. You go to the strip club, you're having the greatest time of your night, lights turn on, sunshine goes back to the room, and you head home with the boys.
Or it's like going to a holiday party and saying something, and everybody else looks at you like, did he really just say that?
What the hell was
I don't know
that?
if I'm talking about myself, but I probably am. But my Tough Tuesday goes to those Indianapolis Colts fans. I feel for you. I really do. That's not sarcastic. That's not sarcasm whatsoever. That just sucks, man, and it's a tough Tuesday for all of you guys out there.
Yeah, it really is. I sat in front of a Colts fan at the game, and he was like from like Paola or something, right? So we were talking and whatnot, and he was rowdy at the beginning of the game, and then you could see it just dissipate as the game went along when the Chiefs were able to win that game, and now they've got all this heaped upon them, man. I really do feel bad for the fans and everybody associated with that organization. My Tough Tuesday goes to the Notre Dame athletic director. I mean, I don't know that I've seen more of a child baby crybaby in sports than this Pete Bavacqua guy. I don't know what part of Jersey he grew up
Baklava?
in, but Pete Bavacqua clearly grew up somewhere in Jersey. He was on the Dan Patrick Show yesterday bitching about not getting into the college football playoff and how Miami got in, and then decided to draw a line in the sand and start taking shots at the conference, the ACC, of which Notre Dame is not a member of when it comes to the sport of football. And so the Notre Dame athletic director said, we didn't appreciate the fact that we were singled out repeatedly and compared to Miami. Not by Miami, but it raised a lot of eyebrows here that the conference was taking shots at us. The head of the conference said, we respect Notre Dame, blah, blah, blah. With that said, when it comes to football, we have a responsibility to support and advocate for all 17 of our football-playing member institutions, and I stand behind that. Yes!
Yep.
That's the right answer. Like, memo to Notre Dame, you are not part of the ACC. The fact that they didn't fight for you is the right thing to do. They fight for the people that are in their conference. Notre Dame plays hockey in the Big Ten. They do their other sports in the ACC, and their football is an independent. If they make a bowl game, or the CFP, you know who gets all that dough? Notre Dame! If Miami gets in, you know who gets the dough? The ACC, and they split it with everybody. So, yeah, they're going to advocate for a team that has made the commitment to them. Notre Dame has made a commitment to no one but themselves. So for this guy to be out here crying and bitching like a little baby yesterday, Pete Bavacqua, shut the F up, Pete, and sit the F down and join a GD league.
Hey, you guys don't invite me to the party. Yeah, dude, you're not in the club.
You're not part of it.
Yeah, you could have been. You're not.
You're not.
You choose not to be.
Right.
It's not basketball. Sorry.
What's the I think you should leave skit where the guy's trying to learn about getting hair? Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Said it. What'd you guys talk about? Sex.
Oh, yeah.
Just tell me what he said. Nope, you're not invited. Club
part of the
Aqua.
club.
I want to get to Club Aqua. Good. Okay, I'll see you there.
Hey, this is stupid. Like these idiots that run college sports, and they're morons, do the say it out loud test. Well, the ACC fought for a team that's in the ACC that's part of the conference. We're kind of part of the ACC, but we're not in football. I don't understand why you didn't support us. Because you ain't part of the league.
Because we don't CCU in our club.
Yeah.
Oh. My Tough Tuesday, it could be a tough Tuesday for some Chiefs players. So I thought we could go through a couple, and you can decide cut or keep. And you guys as well, 913-586-7965. Want to hear your thoughts on these as well. Cut or keep these Chiefs players.
And we're just taking out contracts.
Yes.
Please don't get into the weeds on the text line about
dead caps and things like this.
Torts and whatever else you want to get into. We're not here for that today. This is conversation.
Cut just means like get rid of,
get
not
rid
trade.
Of. Yep. Yeah, just get rid of. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Could be trade in this scenario.
Exactly. We just stop with the minutia
Not
text
on this
line.
team, on this team.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go.
Yes. If you want to get in the minutia, at me on Twitter. We'll get into it. Chris Jones, cut or keep?
Gone.
Okay.
I'd keep him.
Okay. McDuffie.
Let me jump in real fast.
Yes,
For me, I get
discussion.
rid of him because I look at Chris Jones as part of the reason why this team has not been able to move forward. We're going to talk about it with Travis Kelce a little bit as the morning goes along, but I think in order for this team to grow, it's time to say goodbye. So that's where I stand on that one.
In your Keeping.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would keep Chris Jones.
Okay, Trent McDuffie.
Yeah, I'm absolutely number one trade target for me this offseason.
Okay.
If I should say trade target, the number one guy I want to trade, number one trade option for me is Trent McDuffie. So yeah, I am absolutely 1,000% shopping him.
Yeah, I just go on pass record. Brett Veach doesn't sign corners. Is Trent McDuffie any different? I don't know, but I would probably see what happens. I think you'd move on.
Jawan Taylor.
Gone. Yeah, you've got Esapole.
Yeah,
he should be your starting right tackle based on what we saw against one of the best defensive lines in the history of the NFL.
Moore.
Yeah, and you have Jalen Moore,
Moore
too. Yeah, there's no reason to keep Jawan Taylor around.
Nope. Bob's 3 for 3, 2 for 3 for Dustman. Next one, Trey Smith.
I'm keeping Trey.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I would keep him.
Well, I put it in there just because he's the highest paid guard in the league, and not necessarily premier position. Had some injury issues. Just thought it could be a discussion.
Sure. No, it is. But and I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
That just because we both said keep him, that I keep Trey Smith because I do believe that he's a very good lineman in the prime of his career right now. And if Patrick Mahomes has line issues, if you will, I would think Trey Smith would help with that.
Yeah, I just don't know if there's any value to trade for him.
Well, that's fair.
Big high price guard.
Because and I mean, it makes sense if you were going to be able to trade guards in this league, because then you would just be like, all right, well then there can Pole play that, or can Jalen Moore play that? Obviously, that whole domino effect. So I would keep him.
You're creating more holes on your roster.
No, that's fair. That's fair. And finding that trade piece, trade partner rather, would be pretty tough.
If he was a tackle, though,
all day. See ya. Talk to you later, Nick Bolton.
Gone.
Yeah,
same.
I think good
Same
riddance.
here. Absolutely.
And again, it's tough love. It's a business.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
and this should be a lesson for the Chiefs. Like, middle linebackers are running backs, man. We don't pay those people.
No, and maybe they should pay the running back this offseason. But
yes.
But I think when you start to look around and really analyze what we've seen on this team this year, and I said this after the Dallas game to you guys. The defense just looks slow. They're a step behind everything. They looked at the other night, even against C.J. Stroud, like if they were just a step quicker in certain. Like Dusty has been on this, almost interceptions all year back to the Jacksonville game. If you're a step faster, almost interceptions are interceptions. Almost recovering fumbles are recovered fumbles. Almost making the tackle, you are making the tackle. I just think this whole defense right now is just old. It's a step slow, and it needs an entire refresh. BBL Stinky.
What went wrong in Andy Reid? We talk about it next on the other side on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is Isaiah Pacheco, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Golden Oak Lending do an unbelievable job. We've had a decade-long relationship with the folks at Golden Oak Lending, and I couldn't be happier because when I talk to the folks at Golden Oak Lending, we're talking about ways to save money, and that's what we do. Every 6 months, we take their free mortgage checkup, and I implore you to do the same thing. It is an unbelievable way to find out where you are in your mortgage, and it's risk-free. There's no paperwork or credit card required. It's just a phone conversation where you tell the folks at Golden Oak Lending where you are and what you want to accomplish. And we know how life works. Sometimes there are certain things that pop up. There are financial things that get in the way. There's credit card bills. There's college tuition. There's all of that. And you need some help. And Golden Oak can help you get there. The average cash out customer saves $1,104 per month when they refinance with Golden Oak Lending. And when you do, you won't make a mortgage payment for 2 months. We're talking about now March, basically, until you have to make a mortgage payment. So get in touch with Golden Oak Lending today. They'll look around and find out if they have a loan that's better than the one you're in. And if they do, great, they'll get you in it. If they don't, they'll say wait 6 months and let's see what we can do 6 months from now. So call them today and take that free mortgage checkup. 913-890-GOLD. That's 913-890-GOLD, and let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. Your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook is live in Missouri. You can get in on all the action with fast withdrawals, a safe and secure app, and betting that's easy to use anywhere you go. And the best part, DraftKings keeps the excitement going with awesome promos and offers all season long. That's why it's America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't wait. New customers sign up today. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Let's go, Missouri. Get in the game.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 965 in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Men, you need to look great for holiday events. Let Peter's Clothiers give you the perfect fit you're looking for. From sportswear to suits and sports coats in sizes to fit every man. PetersClothiers.com or stop in today at 124th and State Line.
If you're a man waking up in the middle of the night dealing with frequent urination, it could be an enlarged prostate. This is Jeff Montgomery. Do what I did. Contact Dr. Brown at Miva Medical, the leader in minimally invasive treatments in Kansas City. Go to miva-medical.com.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Wayside rescues thousands of animals each year. Your gift today provides a complete circle of life-saving care they need to heal and find loving homes. Donate today, and your gift will be matched. Visit waysidewaves.org to make your life-saving gift today.
Chiefs coverage this past hour has been brought to you by waysidewaves.org. Save a life this holiday season.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door. RENNER forward and back.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Who knew a Halloween costume would change my life and lead me to Renner Garage Door? Renner's KC's go-to team for service, repair, and replacement.
RENNER, RENNER.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Downtown 35 southbound gets heavy at I-70, stays very slow down past Penway with an accident reporting. 70 eastbound to the Kansas side, heavy from 57th Street in towards 635 with construction blocking the right lane. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
What's up, Kansas City? It's Nick Bolton. Tune in on game days to hear the play-by-play with Mitch, Danon, and Clean on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Rolling along on a Tuesday here on Fescoe and Dusty with Mac Maury on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. Chargers winning overtime last night against the Philadelphia Eagles, making those playoff hopes slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. Really sucks. But hey, it's okay. We still a chance. What is it, the Dumb and Dumber?
So you say there's a chance.
You better believe it. Somebody says we need to start a driving crooner group. Well, you got to drive fast so they don't get by. They got to get right by. They got to be perfectly next to it. They get perfectly next to me to see it. So I thought of this morning driving into work as we talk about Andy Reid and the season and where you want to put blame and who gets the majority of the piece of the pie. And I just do this because I go off of what Andy Reid tells us every single week, and he puts a lot of blame on himself. He puts a lot of kind of the weight on his shoulders, I will say. So I don't think that this conversation is out of pocket or anything like that. So backstory of my life, right? I had a family that was, lucky enough to have a house at Table Rock Lake, and my grandpa was a G out there, man. He did everything, right? Well, as a kid going there, you'd always see, and I'm sure you guys have had this too, if you guys have known somebody who has a lake house of some sort. I know you hang out with like Tammy, they have people that take care of it, or they have somebody that owns it, obviously, like a dad or a grandfather. And when I was younger, my grandfather would always go down the hill, come up the hill, massive hill at Table Rock Lake. Shell Knob is where we lived. And he'd carry gas cans full, like 5-gallon gas cans, up the hill, down the hill, all the way up till he was like, in his mid-60s. Well, eventually, he doesn't need to do everything. You don't need to pack the cooler. You don't need to pack the gas. You don't need to do all this. Let us do it for you. And eventually you have to tell him, like, hey, it's no longer your job to do everything. And that's where this analogy fits with Andy Reid.
Did he let you do that?
Eventually, because age eventually, did that. And we'd say, hey, Papa, like, you don't need to do, I'll grab that. I'm 18 now. I can carry 2 gas tanks, or I can carry the noodles and the floats, and I can carry the cooler. You just go down there, sit down, enjoy what you built. And if we need something, we'll let you know, and you'll be the supervisor to kind of say, hey, the key to the locker is in the back left. It's behind this. Okay, cool. Nobody would know that because we had to go to you to figure that out. Andy Reid is the old man at the lake, right? For years, Andy Reid has gone up and down the hill. He's done everything. He's had everything there. Maybe now it's time for Andy Reid to rely on, like the dad at the lake would rely on his son now, who's older and has a family, and he can tell his kids to get things ready. Sit in the lawn chair on the dock, enjoy the weather, enjoy the water, and at dinner time, pour yourself an old-fashioned, sit on the couch. We'll take care of it, Dad. I think that's where the Chiefs kind of need to move forward, and I think that's where Andy Reid needs to move forward. The biggest enigma in all of this is what you just said. Will Andy allow that?
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's where it all settles down for me, is that Mahomes will be 31 next year. I don't know if Travis Kelce comes back next year. Mahomes will now be in the league almost 10 years. And it's at the point where it's like, Andy, you can just sit back and reap the benefits of what you have built. You are not irrelevant to the system anymore. You are not someone who is going to, not have any say or emphasis, but maybe it's okay to actually use an offensive coordinator. Maybe it's okay to use your quarterback's coach to talk to your quarterback. And I know that people will say, well, Andy doesn't sit on the bench anymore. Yeah, but he's still in that ear, and he's still calling the plays, and he's still in control of everything. And I don't think he necessarily has to, because for years people have seen how his system works, right? And he's let that be known that this is what happens, this is how we do things. And the example that I will give you that strikes true to me is, what was the best unit in the second half in that game on Sunday night?
Defense.
Who's in control of the defense?
Spags was.
Not Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Spags is in control of that unit. You know how those go in the locker room. Mm-hmm. They go to the side. Spags gets to the whiteboard. He tells them what we're going to do. And Spags has control of that. And it's one voice that they can get to and they can talk to. Whereas the offense, you've got guys like Nagy. You've got guys like Andy. You've got guys like the receivers coach that are all just waiting for Andy to say something, come up with something. And maybe at times people see things differently, or they see something develop more clearly than maybe Andy might. Not saying that Andy Reid has lost his edge, but I think Andy Reid is trying to do too much where he could trust others to help him out to get the ultimate goal achieved.
Yeah, then that's the biggest question. Will he allow that to happen? Because there are people that see the game differently. Hell, it doesn't matter if you're on the same coaching staff as Andy Reid or even if you're Patrick Mahomes. Everybody interprets things and sees things differently. And there may be something that's happening on the field that I don't see, and Dusty's like, oh, my God, did you see that? I'm like, no, I didn't. Then you go back and look at it, you go, ooh, good job out of you. Way to go, man. Way to pick that up. That was something unique. Not everybody can see everything, but I do believe, like, as we've sat here now and we're all in the realization that this team is not going to the playoffs. I know there's still a couple of, again, diehards out there with their Mahomes rosary beads, thinking that this team is going to the playoffs. Last night, the win by the Chargers, pretty much, that's all she wrote for the Kansas City Chiefs. And, when you don't make it to the postseason, everybody wants blame. And a lot of the times we don't want to blame the people that we should blame because we like those people, like Patrick Mahomes at times, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, and Andy Reid falls into that category for a lot of folks.
Dad.
Yeah, exactly. Grandpa and Dad. But the more I was thinking about it yesterday, this season is 100% the fault of Andy Reid because he's the head coach. And when we sit here and give him praise for winning and all that stuff because he's the head coach, well, the flip side happens, then you get the blame when you're the head coach. And this whole season, for a number of different reasons, is all about Andy Reid's failure as a head football coach this year. Starts with the penalties. That's the number one thing. That's on the head coach, right? Imagine you're an employee. Spectre told us not to do the library anymore. Didn't like it anymore. It was done. What if we came in and did the library and basically threw what our boss said in his face? There would be repercussions for that. That's Jawan Taylor committing penalty after penalty after penalty. But it's also on Andy Reid for never really doing anything about it. Never really benching him, never doing something that was a tangible punishment for hurting his team. And so if you're the guy at the office that gets away with everything all the time, what's your incentive to listen? You've got to discipline your guys. You've got to hold these guys accountable. Accountability was very lacking this year for Andy Reid. The play calling this year has been abysmal by Andy Reid. We have heard people use the term predictable when it comes to Andy Reid. That's NFL players are using that term. That's people on the field going against this team. That's their opponents. Everybody is looking at this as being a predictable play-calling offense. That's why you get different eyeballs in there, or allow the eyeballs that you have to have a say in seeing the game, and you don't become predictable. Personnel. I wasn't really thinking much about personnel until I watched the game on Sunday, and I realized, boy, the personnel is on this team. Maybe Andy Reid is misjudging the personnel because he wants to play veterans as opposed to younger players. And that's not the way to do it. In order for this organization to move forward, we need to have some of these younger players playing. Noah Williams and Esa Pole played their asses off in that game against a very good Houston Texan team, right? A very good Houston Texan team. How many other guys is Andy not giving the opportunity to because maybe they're not older or they're not one of those veteran guys, and you have talent that's stashed on the bench that should be out there playing because while they don't have the experience, they may be better at this point in their career than some of these veteran guys. Number 4 for me, what went wrong with Andy Reid this year. He says listen all the time in his press conference. Does he listen? I'm wondering, does he listen to his coaches? Does he listen to the people on his staff? Number 5 reason why I'm blaming Andy Reid, energy. How many times have we heard at halftime of games, we need to have better energy. Gosh. You're the leader of the team. The energy level starts with you. Mm-hmm. That's the direct impact of the head coach. Bring that energy to your team will have energy. And then finally, the whole thing has been stale from an offensive standpoint. They've not evolved. The league is caught up, and nobody thinks they're special anymore. And so those are 6 reasons that I look at and I go, this is why this season went wrong. And they all go back to the head football coach. He is the guy that sets the tone for everything in every organization. Andy Reid has to be better than he was this year, both on the field and off the field. And if he can improve and get back to where he was, then this team will be just fine. But to me, this whole season, in my opinion, is the direct result of those 6 things that I just mentioned that go back to the head football coach.
Yeah, I love it. Brashard Smith, too. Why isn't he seeing
Exactly. There's another guy, right? Yeah.
You go on the defense, too. There's just so many guys in this team where you're like, wait, what's
what
going
happened to
on?
Jalen Royals?
Yeah, remember that guy,
him.
right? Where's that guy?
Didn't even get a chance.
Esa Pole.
Yeah, Wanya Morris, we've seen be for 2 years.
Seeing Esa Pole do what he did, I hate to be this guy, and I hate to be hyperbolic Bob on this one. How many other guys are Esa Poles on the roster that Andy isn't given an opportunity to?
Yep.
Like, didn't they draft the linebacker this past year?
Jeffrey Bassa, who another guy I was really excited about. Haven't seen him play besides special teams.
Is he still on the team?
Yes,
I mean,
he's here.
Why aren't we giving that guy an opportunity to play?
It was supposed to be good in coverage, right? Faster sideline to sideline guy.
And I know, and we hear it all the time. And I've said it myself. These coaches watch these guys in practice. They're putting the best players out there. Maybe they're not. Mm-hmm. Maybe I was wrong on that one.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, when you have a down year, you got to go back and revisit the lab. Coming up on the other side, we revisit with Dayton Hughes, who will join us next on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at QC Kinetics are saying, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make you feel better. That's exactly what you want, right? You want to feel better when you wake up in the morning. You want to feel better when you're doing your everyday activities. But if you have that joint pain, you're not able to feel better. At QC Kinetics, they can take care of all of that for you when your body remembers how to heal. It just needs a little help finding its way back. And QC Kinetics believes relief doesn't have to come from surgery or pain pills. They use your body's own natural healing abilities expertise to repair and restore what's been lost, helping you move, live, and feel like yourself again. It's your body's comeback story, powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery, just your body remembering how to feel alive again. So take that first step and don't have pain going into the new year. Schedule your free consultation today. It's a great time to use your HSA and FSA for treatments. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, it's QC Kinetics.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Well, I'll tell you, you're walking around your house this morning, right, getting ready to go to work, and all of a sudden you feel a cold breeze rushing through your window, and you're like, did I leave the window open last night? The answer is no, you didn't leave the window open last night. You just need new windows. When you can feel that breeze coming through, it is time to replace them. And I'm not just talking about your windows. Your doors are the same way. You feel that breeze coming in. You've got towels in the door to keep the air from going out. That's because you need a new door. And West Shore Home can help you. They can prove that it doesn't have to be expensive and stressful to do your remodeling. With real-time scheduling and precision scan-to-plan accuracy, they make your remodel fast, easy, and convenient. And that's why hundreds of thousands of homeowners have trusted West Shore Home to transform their bathroom, windows, and doors. Right now, when you buy a full bath remodel, you'll get a second shower for free and lock in an extra $500 off just for listening to the show. So schedule now at westshorehome.com/fan. That's westshorehome.com/fan. It's West Shore Home.
Great news, Nick. Legacy boxes are still in stock. With Christmas just around the corner, there's still time to buy the best Christmas gift ever. Legacy Box.
That's right, Adam. Order today and Legacy Box ships immediately. It'll arrive ready to wrap and place under the tree.
Gather the family together this Christmas and collect all your old VHS and camcorder tapes, slides, pictures, and film reels. Then you can binge on the good old days.
From fading over time to risks like fire and water damage, your memories aren't protected unless they're on a digital format. Legacy Box helps you replay those great moments from the past, from Christmas morning to your wedding day.
Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. All the work is done right here in the USA, and over 1 million customers have trusted Legacy Box.
This Christmas is the time to digitize. Visit legacybox.com/value for exclusive holiday savings. That's legacybox.com/value for last-minute shopping. legacybox.com/value.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-583-5795.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Newton James is Kansas City's newest classic menswear boutique and accessory store. They redefine what menswear should be with the best designers from the US, the UK, and Japan. Their new seasonal collection just dropped, but the most popular colors and modern cuts always go first. So check them out today. Whether it's a suit for a holiday party, a winter wedding, or a sharp everyday fit, get the best look while your size is still in stock. At Newton James, they believe someone has to be the best dressed man in the room. It might as well be you. Check them out on Instagram or newtonjames.com.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Downtown, 35 southbound recovering. Earlier accident around Penway. Built delays back up to I-70. Right now just slowing from I-70 down towards 12th Street and 670 westbound. A little slow approaching 35 as well. Blue Parkway westbound heavy approaching Noland. About a mile back up there. Kansas side 70 eastbound gets heavy past 57th Street. Stays slow through the 635 interchange with construction. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
You hear him on game days in the booth.
Quickly, they get chunky and funky with stretching the fields vertically.
And Thursday nights at 6 during Players Only.
Spitfire, hot fire take.
Here's Chiefs Radio Network color analyst Danon Hughes on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
That's right, we're back on a Tuesday, which means Danon Hughes. Brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Discover the benefit of blue. And brought to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Danon, how are you today, man? We're not familiar with this in the last almost decade of this feeling in Kansas City.
Yeah, man, rough morning. We had one job. The Eagles had one job to do last night. It would have helped us out tremendously, and couldn't get it done. But we dug the hole ourselves, man, and, you know, it's unfortunate. Normally we're leaning on other teams to win or lose so that we, at this point of the season, are moving on up or staying in the top slot, and that's not the case now. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. And you're right. We kind of created this mess for ourselves, not what others did or, you know, anything like that. And I'm going to kind of throw a curveball at you. Could you hit a curveball when you played baseball?
Yes, sir, or fouled it off, wait for a fastball.
Okay, all right, so you understand how to handle a curveball. I said earlier, and I'm not asking you to agree or disagree, but I want your opinion from a wide receiver. I say it's time to fire the wide receiver coach, Connor Embry. I've not seen anything out of this position worthwhile in a couple of years. It seems like regression is happening. They're inconsistent, dropping balls, not getting open. What should be done with that position that you used to play?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to endorse firing Connor Embry because it's not like the wide receivers aren't getting opportunities or not getting open. And you cannot, and I said this last week, I even said it during the broadcast as well, the players have to play and go make plays. And it's not on, you know, we've seen some of the crazy takes this week of fire Andy Reid and all that nonsense, and it's crazy how quickly people jump off the boat. And then to consider just after going 3 straight Super Bowls, all of a sudden nobody knows how to coach and nobody knows, you know, I mean, I think that's kind of extreme thoughts, but the fact remains is that we do need better at the wide receiver position. And one thing I would like to see, I think we have good complementary parts, but when you look across the landscape of the NFL, even last week, and then you look at Denver Broncos, and maybe we need to take a page out of the book of what teams used to do when facing us during that amazing stretch of 9 straight AFC West championships is they used to draft or acquire talent specifically to go against us, right? That's all you saw throughout, especially throughout the AFC West, but even throughout the AFC Conference, teams drafting and getting talent because they knew they had to face us. Well, from the wide receiver position, we're one of the few wide receiver cores that don't have 6'3", 6'4" wide receivers. And when you look at Nico Collins and you see what the Denver Broncos wide receiving core are, and you go through the landscape of the NFL, there are guys that create automatic mismatches one-on-one. Heck, we had to deal with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens on Thanksgiving. Bigger receivers that make it tough for smaller DBs to cover them for 60 plays a game. So with us, Xavier Worthy is a smaller guy. Rashee Rice, a little bit bigger, but not the tall tree style receiver that you see around the NFL that winds up winning on the outside. So maybe adjustment in the acquisition of talent as far as sizable receivers is one thing I would say we would need to add. And then guys just got to do their job, Bob. I mean, catching the ball has nothing to do with your receiver coach. I guess that's my point.
Yeah, and the reason I say that is because when you get into a season like this, there is going to be a fall guy, right? There always is, in these type of situations. And I just watched that wide receiver position, and the hype is so much more than the actual result,
Yeah, I understand. And let's say, you know what? After 3 straight Super Bowl runs, it's tough after 2 straight Super Bowl runs and winning 2 and then losing the 3rd, it's tough to go into that locker room or go into the organization and say, you know what? We need to overhaul certain positions because you've won. How difficult. I mean, some people think, okay, it's tough to go from 2-15 or 3-14 to a viable team. I'm not sure that's tougher than staying at top of the league and being better. I got an argument with one of my best friends yesterday, going back and forth about coach of the years and what's tougher, being a team that's 7-10 and then turning it into 11-6, or being a team that is 12-5, winning the Super Bowl and then turning around and being 15-2 and going to another Super Bowl. I think it's tougher to stay atop of the league because for many reasons. You're getting the tougher schedule, and then you're having to make personnel decisions based on what you might think could be better, even though you've been the best. And that's kind of where we are now. And maybe this season is that opportunity to press the reset button and say, you know what, we made another run. We thought we had the personnel to do it just like we did it in the last 3 years. That's not the case. So now you can kind of make those changes that might be necessary to get back to the top.
Danon, you talk about hitting the reset button, and something that I've kind of talked about, and I wanted to be evidently clear that I don't think Andy should lose his job. I'm not one of those people that have jumped off the boat. I'm still in the sea deck of this ship. But do you think with the reset and the realization that maybe teams like you have said who have drafted have maybe caught up to you, that it is time for Andy Reid to kind of maybe trust more of what he has on the sidelines? And I mean by other voices, and maybe not think that he has to take the full load of everything that we always hear, that Andy Reid controls everything?
No, I don't think so, and here's why, Dusty. These guys meet so much, and there's so much that goes into a game plan and the conversations that happen on the headsets throughout the game. Like, we're privy to being in the radio booth, and most games right next to our booth are usually the coaches' booths. Now, we can't hear what's going on, and obviously we're all watching the game, so we don't see it pretty often. But I can tell you that there is constant communication that's happening from the booth down to the sideline. There's constant communication in meetings. They're up at that stadium on certain nights, usually until midnight. Leading into the Dallas Cowboys game with the short week after playing on that Sunday against the Colts, there were coaches that slept in the office, right? So to say that Andy's not getting any kind of influence from other coaches, or there's not that kind of communication, there is constant communication. Now, how much he's listening to those guys, no one knows. But I can tell you that there's definitely input that goes on a daily basis, and then from play to play on the sideline. I mean, let's face it, Andy Reid is an offensive genius. He's not involved so much on the defensive side. Spags is on the sideline. So you have not only a head coach that's handling the head coaching duties, but he's got one aspect of the game that he's really not even involved in. So he can pour more into communication with his other coaches and the assistants and Matt Nagy, while the defense is on the field for the most part. So I just don't agree with that idea. Maybe like what we've seen during bye weeks, and you do the self-scouting, maybe there will be kind of a reckoning that'll happen during the off season where they say, you know what, this didn't work last year. Maybe it'll be something that Brett Veach and Clark Hunt will get involved in and help maybe shoulder some of that load or move it around a little bit. But I just don't. I mean, I feel like this is just a bad season, guys. Like we won 12 close games last year, and we lost 6 of those this year. Like, and to think that an overhaul is necessary and we need to start relieving guys of certain duties, I just don't know that that's true.
Let me ask you this, though. When you look at a guy like Esapole, who played marvelous the other night, and you look at a guy like Noel Williams, who was great the other night, why aren't those guys having more of an impact on the team, and how many other guys maybe aren't getting that opportunity where they should be, and maybe Andy's missing? Because I'll be honest with you, having Esapole not play before the other night is malpractice. Having Noel Williams not play as much as he did the other night is ridiculous. Brashard Smith not getting in the game at all is nuts to me. Like, how many of these guys are on the roster that Andy maybe just not given opportunity to?
Yeah, I'm going to say I've been baffled about the Noel Williams situation because prior to the bye week, he was playing an adequate amount. When we moved Trent McDuffie inside to play that nickel position, Noel Williams was rotated outside, and then we went to the bye, and all of a sudden Christian Fulton was out there for the most part. They even went to the extent of deactivating Joshua Williams, who's been a solid corner for us and special teams player. So there was a time where they seemed to be a little bit more high on Noel Williams. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if this was a product of the self-scouting, but then there was a decision to kind of put him on the shelf and just allow him to be a part of the special teams. I never understood that. As far as Esapole, I'm not going to go as far to believe he's like, the next coming of John Alt or Willie Roaf, because the one thing I do know is that when you have no film on you, that can be a benefit for you. Like, guys haven't been able to figure you out, and now you're thrown into the game during a game. And I think what we think as just a general fan is that a guy that's down on the depth chart is significantly worse than what we have at the top of the depth chart. And then when you get thrown onto the field and everything is going full speed and you step up to the challenge, the defensive guys, they haven't studied you. It's kind of like that new pitcher. How many times in Major League Baseball do we see a guy get called up and he's carrying a no-hitter into the 7th inning? Like, it's just because you haven't seen anything about them to be able to counter with your game plan. So I give him credit, and I think he did an outstanding job, especially against those two bookends at the defensive end position. But let's, hold out just a little bit just to see what he's going to be able to do going forward, because maybe we have a diamond in the rough. Who knows? Maybe we have a guy like when we drafted Trey Smith and we didn't know he was going to be an all-pro guy because we drafted him so late because of the health concerns out of college, and we struck gold. Maybe that'll be the case with Esapole, but I'm going to say the jury's still going to hold out just a little bit.
Dana, you talk about how this season's been, just a bad season, as you'd said earlier. If you could, what would you change, number one, going into next season?
We definitely need to make some adjustments at the defensive line position. We need more potency from that defensive line position. We got to figure out a way that we can get pressure with 4 guys. For whatever reason, I give Spags credit for being creative with our blitz packages, and we've had Brian Cook, Shamari Connor, Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson. We've had everybody on the defensive backfield be a part of blitz packages, which is pretty uncommon across the landscape of the NFL. But if we have to lean on that and to be successful, I don't think that's sustainable. And I think that's something that we learned from this year with all of the third and extra long conversions for opponents on offense. A product of that is in third and extra long, your 4 guys, what they do know is that the team is going to pass. So that's an opportunity where Charles Omenihu, Chris Jones, Mike Pennell, Derek Nottie, George Karlaftis should be able to pin their ears back and get to the quarterback. And our defense has done a good enough job to force teams to fail on first and second down so that they get to 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10. Last week we had 3rd and 17, 3rd and 12. And now in that situation, you should not have to blitz. When I'm watching games last night and the Chargers dropping off in coverage, getting tipped balls, that's how turnovers are made, because you get teams in predictable situations. You're able to use guys like Khalil Mack and get a Tart and other guys to get pressure in the face of quarterbacks with just 4 rushers. Therefore, there are 7 guys back deep that can take away windows, snatch footballs, tip balls so other guys can get turnovers, and that's how you play winning football. And we've been void of that. We haven't been in the right place at the right time when balls have been fumbled, and we definitely have not been able to take advantage of tipped passes or errant throws by quarterbacks, because we're always playing man-to-man coverage and guys have their backs to the quarterback and you just don't see it. So that's a long-winded answer to your question, but I think we need to upgrade in the defensive line position so we don't have to lean so heavily on the blitz.
Yeah, we need to get young there. We need to get young at linebacker. We need to get young across the board, in a lot of these places. And that's why it's so frustrating, Dana, because it's every facet of the game that just has not been good at multiple times this season, from special teams to offense, to defense not being able to make the play. How frustrating has it been for you to see really, disasters, if you will, for lack of a better term, in all 3 phases of this organization?
Yeah, it's crazy because last year, and I heard this earlier this season, and it kind of made me kind of pay more attention throughout this season, that we're not better than we were last year. We're not worse than we were last year. We're actually the same as we were last year. And that kind of goes against everything that I learned as a player. When I was a player, all the coaches used to say, you're either getting better or you're worse. You're never the same. Every single day, every single rep, every single practice, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. Well, this year, this team is pretty much the same exact team as last year, minus 2 plays. Whether it's a block kick, whether it's a big play from a wide receiver, a stretch the field Xavier Worthy play, a Travis Kelce key first down. Like, we're just 2 plays different than last year's team, and we're not better and we're not worse. The record is worse, but we're not worse. And I think because we were winning football games, maybe some things were brushed under the rug, and we thought we could win the same type of way this year, and that's not the case. Teams have caught up to us, and whether you think they're not scared, I don't buy into that narrative of people not fearing the Chiefs anymore. People fear Patrick Mahomes. Like, he's garnered enough of that throughout his career that you are definitely nervous when he has the ball in the 4th quarter and it's a 1-score game. They may not be nervous about the other guys around them, and that's got to be something that has to be addressed.
You think Travis comes back next year?
Man, here's what I saw. I watched, and this was the national anthem. And I know that the national anthem is an emotional time for players. Like, I remember being on the sideline, and we've seen the clips of Chris Jones and tears coming down his eyes and other players. Like, that's like the culmination of emotion you've built up during pregame workouts. You've built up walking into the stadium, stretching in the locker room, getting your mind right with your music in the locker room, going through your routine of getting taped and stretched and loosening up. And then you come out, the fans are in the stadium, the crowd is loud, you go through your warm-ups, and then the announcements are made, the fire is shooting up, and you go through all of that, and you get to the height of your emotions where it can bring you to tears. It can have you like almost falling over onto your knees, and you're ready to go and just like snatch the jugular out of the other team. This week was the first time I watched him, and I saw his face. They showed it on the Jumbotron, and then I used my binoculars from the booth, and I looked at his face, and I was like, he looks different. And it made me automatically think that when you're starting to think that these are the last times, he was looking around the stadium just a bit, and I was like, man, is he taking it all in now? Is he looking at this stadium like, I only got a couple more times after this to enjoy this?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of gave me that vibe that he was looking around in a different way. That makes me, if I had a gun to my head, made me feel like maybe he's looking at things as this is the end, and these are the last 3 times that I'll be in front of these fans at Arrowhead Stadium. So, if that answers your question,
for sure.
I think it's the first time that I feel like I thought that he was looking that way.
Let me ask you this though. You played, we didn't. Obviously, for Travis, there's like, I don't want to go out this way, but there's also the other side. That's why you take that time away, right, after you're done to kind of think about it, because I think right now you don't want to go out this way, but also I think it's better, and hear me out on this one. We'll talk more about it as the day goes along, but I think it's better for the team for Travis to go away so Patrick can start to develop different relationships.
Oh, I don't know. I think that relationship,
I mean, on-field relationship is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I think that relationship on the field has been probably the most special wide receiver, quarterback, or quarterback tight end relationship that I've seen. And because it's not based on game plan, it's not been based on the route tree, it's not been based on anything but 2 guys that are in sync, on the same page. There's a lot of times where I'm watching and I know the concepts. I may not know the verbiage of the plays. I'm not in the locker room or in the meeting room or part of game planning or anything like that. I'm just a color analyst in the booth calling the action. But there's obviously knowledge of what is done and how things are done. And when you see this wide receiver run this route, you know this tight end is supposed to run this route. And they don't. Like Patrick and he are on so much in sync and on the same page that oftentimes Travis is doing his own thing, and the only 2 people on the field that know it is he and Patrick. And I just don't know if that's, moving away from that is helpful. I mean, at some point, because there's such a age difference, they're going to have to make a change, and there's going to be a new tight end that's going to be on the field. I don't know if I'm saying it's ready right now. Like, to go out and to know that he had built himself up and, got healthy and started eating better and in his best shape of his life, to come back and bounce back from the Super Bowl embarrassment in New Orleans last year because he didn't want to go out that way, and then to see this year where what Patrick has 3 of his interceptions based on balls that just went right off the hands of Travis Kelce. Like, does that make you feel any better? I guess the question for him would be, does that help you make your decision of finality on your career because of how this season unfolds? Or do you feel something similar that you felt after New Orleans where you didn't want to go out on that bad note? I think that's a decision kind of in line with what you're saying, Bob, that he's going to have to take some time to deal with.
Dana, we appreciate the time, man. Continue doing the work that you do. That's wonderful and awesome, and we'll have you tuned in on Sunday.
I appreciate it, fellas.
Yes, sir. Dana Hughes brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Discover the benefit of blue, and also brought to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Coming up next, Mac Morey takes away with one word here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is George Karlaftis, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Park and Go are going to make it so good to park at the airport. They've been doing it for us for years, and I know so many friends of mine that use Park and Go. that come back and tell me about their parking experience. How many people come back from vacation and say, hey, Bob, we had a great time on our trip, but I got to tell you all about Park and Go. Literally every person I send to Park and Go comes back and tells me how awesome that experience was. And it starts right at the beginning when you make your reservation at bookparkandgo.com. It's so simple to make your reservation. Do it when you book your flight. That way, it's taken care of. Then make sure you prepay, because when you prepay, you save money and get their lowest discounted rate. Then you show up on the day of your flight and you let them know you're there, and they'll direct you to that covered parking spot that they have reserved for you, because every spot at Park and Go is covered parking. The van will meet you right away, take you right to the airport terminal with no stress at all. And when you get back, just grab your bags, jump on the bus, and you're right back to the trunk of your car. So join their frequent parker program and earn points towards free parking. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
This is Dana Hughes. In Kansas City football, we honor tradition, but we always look forward to what's next. That's why I'm all in for Flight by Yingling. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, but built for today. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp, clean, and full of flavor, just the way a light beer should be. It's got the legacy and the stats to back it up. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Dana Hughes. BG Yingling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? Call Jay Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow.
Men, you need to look great for holiday events. Let Peter's Clothiers give you the perfect fit you're looking for. From sportswear to suits and sports coats and sizes to fit every man. PetersClothiers.com or stop in today at 124th and State Line.
Guys, have you started noticing your focus is off? Maybe you're not remembering family events or you just don't feel the same. Synergen X and Low T Center have clinics all over town so you can start receiving care. There's no reason to continue to delay this when you could start feeling like yourself again. They give you the power to choose to be treated in the clinic or at home, and a free TRT test is at the center with results in as little as 20 minutes. Look, you don't want to keep feeling bad all the time. You want really good testosterone treatment plans that are designed for you. Customized TRT plans at the best place in the city. That's Synergen X and Low T Center. So stop waiting and find out where those solutions could be with a free T test. The best is waiting for you the best is waiting for you. So get off the sideline and get that free T test now. Go to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, lift with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not that.
Of course he did. Right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch, so you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part? You can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Guys, my side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed.
With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Finance agreement 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port in a new line. $100 plus a month plan with autopay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-583-5795.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Kansas side, 635 southbound, approaching I-35 with an accident blocking 3 right lanes. 2 left lanes get by just barely. It's very heavy hitting delays right around Kansas Avenue, just crawls down to 35. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Back here on Fescoe and Dusty on a Tuesday morning. It is 7:40-ish, so it's time to let Mac Morey take over with one word.
One word.
First name is Blake, and he goes on a cruise. He goes on a Caribbean cruise.
Katie Holmes.
No. Ah!
Are you listening?
What's your least favorite thing about working with yourself?
Body odor. You get one word.
On the count of 3, name your favorite dinosaur. 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
This is one word on Fescoe and Dusty.
1, 2, 3.
Oatmeal raisin.
Sex.
Yeah, we could do a couple different ones, couldn't we?
Can I just vent for just one quick second? I want to ask you guys on one word on this tweet. Jeremy Fowler tweets out 11 minutes ago. The Phillip Rivers workout with the Colts took place Monday night. Per source, threw the ball well. We'll see what's next. 1 minute after that, Adam Schefter quote tweets it and says, workout already happened, talks ongoing. Schefter literally adds nothing to the conversation. Instead of just hitting the retweet, he's got to quote tweet. One word on Adam Schefter trying to steal the spotlight all the time.
Oh, Mac, you want to go ahead?
Idiot.
Chode.
There we go. There we go.
I don't know why that stuff bothers me.
No, it's frustrating.
And like it shouldn't, and then I get the anxiety and I get built up, and then I've got to take myself to a happy place and think about other things.
Yes.
But I let these stupid moves from Adam Schefter on X like affect my day.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. This guy, come on.
Geek.
This guy once talked about tweeting during having sex.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's start. One word. Last night, football game happened. It went to overtime. The Chargers won, and of course,
it's today.
We heard from him after the game. He had some good stuff to say. This is how important the win was to him.
Oh, there's been a lot of teams, and this is definitely maybe the best feeling. Just a wonderful feeling of winning and thrill of victory. It's certainly in the discussion. I put in the discussion the birth of my 7 children, my marriage, in the conversation.
He's being facetious,
Yes,
right?
he is,
And I will say that, facetious, because if you just read those comments, you're like, oh my God. And then you hear him, he's kind of laughing about it, kind of saying it was a win in the NFL. It's not like it's up there with the birth of my 7 children. But I will say facetious is the word that I will use with Harbaugh on that one.
Yeah, sarcastic, which is something I didn't know if he could do, but whatever. I mean, he also said that he had a dream about Justin Herbert, and there was a white light and all this sort of stuff. So, the dude's just weird. Maybe that's the word.
Yeah.
He's weird.
Yeah, weirdo for sure. Another weirdo. Coach, quarterback. Now, this is a current quarterback, Fernando Mendoza. We heard his post-game interviews. Didn't get to play him yesterday, but he was on Pat McAfee. He got hit pretty hard in that game against Ohio State. He came back in. This was him talking about on Pat McAfee, talking about taking that hit and get back on the field.
It was a clean hit. Curry's a great player. I'm all for playing football, playing rough and dirty. Like, here we go. Let's get the pads going. Like, I know the NFL is going more towards the offensive game. However, as a quarterback and as a competitor, I'm all for competing, and that was a great shot, great hit. He cracked me bad, like no pause. It was tough. At that point, I didn't even see him, and all of a sudden, it's like I got hit by a freight train with no brakes. I'm on the floor. I'm like, damn, did I break a rib or something? And then I just realized my air just had gotten knocked out. My chest is in pain a little bit, but I was always going to go back in the game. It was great to see Alberto in there for a play, doing his thing, operating the huddle. But no matter what, I would literally need to be dead, like Jeff Brom, to pull me off.
Brom, how in the world are you starting this game tonight after taking that hit just 6 days ago?
Let me answer that question by asking you 2 questions. 1, is this or is this not the XFL? Yes, it is. 2, do I or do I not currently have a pulse? Yes, I do. Let's play football.
My one word for that, pure. because that's what that kid is. After hearing him after that game and how genuinely excited he was, kind of sound a little nerdy and all that kind of stuff, but that's pure. Don't change who you are, man. Like, I loved it. It was great.
Oh, congratulations, Indiana, the Big Ten champs. How does that sound?
It sounds so beautiful. I want to give all the glory to God. We were never supposed to be in this position, but by the glory of God, the great coaches, great teammates, everyone we have around us, we were able to pull this off. Whoever thought the Hoosiers would be here, but now the Hoosiers are flipping champs. Let's go!
Let's go! I mean, it's just you remind me of Mac a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
No, don't put that on Mac.
I like the guy. So
it's
good.
pure.
Yeah,
it's just pure.
genuine,
Yeah, I like
One
it.
word, Heisman.
Yeah,
no question.
Seriously,
Yeah.
that feels like
How do you not give it to him?
foregone conclusion at this point. A little
I
bit.
mean, just saying didn't perform well out there on Saturday.
I just can't get behind a man that's got a voice like that as a Heisman Trophy winner.
It's
You know
crazy,
what?
right?
More power to you, Mendoza. Congrats. You're the Heisman Trophy
If he ends up as a Jet or a Raider, I feel bad.
Yeah, don't do that. Ugh.
His next interview will be like, man, it's just really tough with you.
Exactly. This sucks.
This blows. Oh, you went to the Jets, didn't you?
Oh, they broke
God.
you. They broke you, didn't you?
All the praise to God. Oh, I'm a Jet. F you, man. This sucks. The Raiders. Ah! Like, that's a kid on the top of the world, and in like 3 months, he's going to be tasked with being the face of and the number one component of rebuilding some lame-ass franchise that can't get out of their own way.
That's exactly right.
If he goes to the Jets, they're hoping he's bringing gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Mendoza maybe do another franchise here coming up, but Indianapolis Colts looking for Phillip Rivers, older QB. One word on Phillip Rivers, 45 years old, has not played in the NFL since 2020. He worked out
2020.
Today, right? He worked out
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Workout done. Talks have started, according to your boy, Shefty.
One word.
Anselmo is what I'm going to use, because I've never seen an old person try to do stuff they're not capable of doing this side of Jerry Anselmo.
Hello, America.
So I'm going Anselmo for. You haven't played in 5 years, and you have grandchildren, and you're a semifinalist for the Hall of Fame. Sure, what the hell? I'll sign back up. If you ever want to know how difficult it is to be a father, ask Phillip Rivers. This man, after 5 years of being retired, is like, I've got enough of this. I got to go back to play football. Get me the hell out of this house.
Man. Yeah, Jerry. No,
It's too good.
Yeah, no, my one word would just be like ageless. If they really are, this is the NFL. Like, we talk about sit out 1 year.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the case, hammer the over of Jonathan Taylor handoffs in the next Colts game.
God, I hope he does get back there and play.
Dude, let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, man, that is one word there on 96.5 The Fan. Coming up next, it's Bob's Bonehead Raw here on 96.5 The Fan. You're home for Kansas City Sports.
You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about.
This is Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, we're getting ready to have yourselves a very, very Merry Christmas, right? And you want to do that without having pain. And pain has a way of stealing away all of those great moments that matter most, especially from the holidays. You want to spend that time with your friends and family, and you don't want to do it in pain. And that's why QC Kinetics is going to help you get back to when your body remembers how to heal. It just needs a little help, and relief doesn't have to come from surgery or pain pills. At QC Kinetics, they use your body's own natural healing abilities to repair and restore what's been lost, helping you move, live, and feel like yourself again. It's your body's comeback story powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery, just your body body remembering how to feel alive again. And right now, as we go into the holidays, you want to be able to do all of that holiday fun without having to think about all of that pain. And it's a great way to get a jump start on 2026 with QC Kinetics Healings within reach. So schedule that free consultation today. And now's a great time to use your HSA or FSA for treatments. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, it's QC Kinetics.
Midwest winters take a real toll on your garage door if it isn't ready. Let Overhead Door Company of Kansas City come out and perform their 14-point tune-up on the garage door and 12-point tune-up on the opener. One price covers 3 garage doors and openers. The work is guaranteed. Overhead Door Company of Kansas City, trusted here since 1927. Call now to schedule your garage door tune-up, 816-221-0072, or schedule online at ohdkc.com. ohdkc.com.
Newton James is Kansas City's newest classic menswear boutique and accessory store. They redefine what menswear should be with the best designers from the US, the UK, and Japan. Their new seasonal collection just dropped, but the most popular colors and modern cuts always go first. So check them out today. Whether it's a suit for a holiday party, a winter wedding, or a sharp everyday fit, get the best look while your size is still in stock. At Newton James, they believe someone has to be the best dressed man in the room. It might as well be you. Check them out on Instagram or newtonjames.com. This holiday season, give your family, clients, and coworkers the gift of Booth Creek Wagyu beef. Booth Creek Wagyu gift boxes provide the world's best steaks, burgers, hot dogs, jerky, sausages, and seasonings that are changing the way America eats beef. Choose from mouth-watering options like the classic sirloin box for less than $100, or go big with the amazing Grill Masters Reserve box. Order yours today at boothcreekwagyu.com or visit one of their 2 convenient locations at 95th and Knoll or 135th Street in Metcalf.
We are on a mission to get everyone high-quality health insurance and better health. We have plans with low out-of-pocket premiums. For coverage to start January 1st, you must enroll by December 15th. Go to ambetterhealth.com/enroll for your free, no-obligation quote. That's ambetterhealth.com/enroll. Ambetter Health, on a mission for better. Ambetter Health is the brand name for health insurance products underwritten by subsidiaries of Centene Corporation. Go to ambetterhealth.com to see offerings in your state. This is a solicitation for insurance.
Chiefs coverage this past hour has been brought to you by waysidewaves.org. Save a life this holiday season.
Wayside rescues thousands of animals each year. Your gift today provides a complete circle of life-saving care they need to heal and find loving homes. Donate today, and your gift will be matched. Visit waysidewaves.org to make your life-saving gift today.
This season, enjoy stress-free comfort with easy booking and trusted service from Anthony. Save up to $4,500 on a new high-efficiency HVAC system. Schedule today at anthonyphce.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by the technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony, plumbing, heating, cooling, and electric. Kansas side, 635 southbound, heavy at I-70. Starts crawling around Kansas Avenue, and it just crawls all the way down to I-35 with an accident blocking 2 right lanes. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Bob's Boneheads.
You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. Rolling right along. Thanks to Dana Hughes from earlier for joining the show. We move on into the 8 o'clock hour, and we start off with what we always do. Bob's Bonehead of the Week. Yeah, and look, this one doesn't come lightly. And, you know, last week we sat here and we did the Bonehead of the Week, and I gave it to my dad, right? And I gave it to my dad because he gave a toast at my mother's birthday party, calling her a good cook and organizer. Mm-hmm. And for 2 weeks now, the entire family's still laughing about this thing,
It's
right?
so good.
It's just, it's the best. It's just unbelievable. And so I've given it to my father on this one because he absolutely 100% deserved it for last week. And so when I say I don't give these things lightly, this is not in a joking manner. This is not something that is, I don't know what you want to call it, taken lightly. This is really a serious bonehead of the week, and it goes to Andy Reid. And the reason that it goes to Andy Reid is not because of the season, not because of all this stuff. It goes to Andy Reid because of that 4th down and 1 call that we saw the other day in that game. And to me, that call right there was a microcosm of everything that's gone wrong, this season. It was a bad play call. It was a play call that felt like Andy Reid didn't have the feel of the game, didn't have the sense of the game, seemed confused and bewildered about what was going on at that point in time. And it was so out of character for Andy Reid. And to top it all off, it was unnecessary. And so not only was it the bad decision, it was a bad play to call, and it was unneeded. You were in a 10-10 ball game, and your defense was balling out, and they were playing their asses off. They were playing probably their best half of football that we've seen all season long. And they took it on themselves to go out there and win that game for you. And they started to do that. And they were winning that game for you. And then you decided to go for it on 4th and 1, throwing a ball to, Hans Rice out there instead of running it with Kareem Hunt, who's been very successful, empty backfield. Everybody knew what was coming. The entire thing was an utter disaster. And that play right there, if somebody said to me, why did it go wrong this season? I would walk them through that 4th and 1 play, and I would say, this play here and everything that went into it, the development, the thought process, the situation, that's why this team right now is not playing good football and why they're not going to the playoffs this year. And that one play, to me, was the season-defining moment in one play, and that's why I give Andy Reid the bonehead of the week, because that was a terrible, not well thought out at all decision by Andy Reid. To go for it, the play that he called, the person he targeted, the whole situation, not having a feel of the game, that right there sums up the entire season to me. The Jacksonville game is the game that sums up the season. The play that sums up the season was that 4th and 1 that Andy Reid went for on Sunday night for no apparent reason whatsoever.
It's also the play design. You kind of hinted on a little bit in that bonehead rant, which was, yeah, you went for it. Don't like that decision, but you went with it with an empty back set. Like, everybody knew that you weren't running the ball, which means...
And you're not going to do a quarterback draw.
And 50% of your playbook is now exposed because they know, okay, move forward to the line, just stay in front of your guy. They're not going to hand the ball off. And like you said, they're not going to run the ball. So you basically eliminated half of what you did, plus where you were at on the field and the way that your defense was playing. Like, that's somewhere where, like, I would have loved Spags to go up to him and be like, hey, Andy, give my defense another shot. We'll get you the ball back on the 50-yard line moving forward. Didn't happen.
It's like when Kevin Gilbride punched Buddy Ryan on the sideline, right? It's like, that's one of those moments you're like, if you're Spags, you're like, what in the hell are you doing out there, man? We're playing our asses off. I would have been against that move if they were on the other 31-yard line in a 10-10 game where points are at a premium. Take the 3.
How much do you put weight on Butker in that situation? Because if he hits that field goal, Andy's like, punt that thing.
Well, yeah, sure.
I mean, it does go back to him missing that, of course, but that doesn't change Andy.
Yeah, mistakes don't make up for mistakes,
no,
right?
But I think that does affect Andy because Andy knows they had 3 and lost 3. What do you say? Don't chase points?
Always.
And you didn't get that 3. You knew that it was a struggle on offense to do it, and you wanted to think that maybe that was that gamble, right? That was that stab at the pot that I think this guy's going to fold because I'm going to overly bet here, and I don't think he's going to call me. And then you flip your cards over, he flips his, and he goes, got you beat. And you're like, oh, man. And it's like, well, the only reason you ever go that high on a chip bet is because when you're going to make a stab at the pot with a dead hand. Well, Andy went all in on 4th and 1 and threw the ball instead of running the ball, so they knew they had him beat. And then you go back to the game prior, and Butker misses that field goal, and Andy's like, I got to get those 3 back. And if I get this first down, this will be the tonsil tickler. This will be the one that'll get them rocking back a little bit, make them trust me. And it didn't work, and it essentially cost them the game.
It did, and it was it was a bad decision all the way around. And he's owned up to it and all that kind of stuff. That's fine, big deal. But you have to be better in the course of the game and understand, the flow of the game. I think everybody at that point in time was screaming, why are you going for it? I don't know that there's a couple of, hardos and X's and O's dorks on Twitter that'll tell you it was the right thing to do and get mad at you when you say it wasn't because they believe everything that Andy does is perfect. But that's just not the case, right? Like, we all make mistakes. I hate to let Billy Coons know, even I make mistakes. Made a big one last night with my kids. And so I'm owning up to making mistakes and whatnot. So it happens over the course of time. Even the best at what they do, Andy Reid, can make mistakes at that point in time. That's where he has to call it maybe a timeout. We didn't even call a timeout in that situation. You went for it on 4th and 1, and it looked like it was rushed. It looked like it was hurried. It looked like people were confused. It just did not look like the right play. And when they came out in that formation, I knew they weren't going to get it. Now, people will say Rice has to catch that football. I don't disagree with that. However, his body of work shows you he's not reliable. So in a situation where your season's on the line, you emptied the backfield, you went for it at your own 31, and you threw it to a guy that has no reliability to catch the football.
Yeah, and I don't know if he showed reliability that he doesn't, but I agree with you. He hasn't showed that he's reliable yet, and I don't know who has on this team
That's
other
the
than
other
87.
thing.
They've got to work on that. That's a separate issue. But, I mean, me and one of my brothers, Sean, always talk about just on offense, you want versatility. You want the most options at all times, no matter what personnel groups on the field. We could do anything. It could be a run, could be a pass, could go to this guy, could go to this guy. And the Chiefs used to have that down so much a couple of years ago, and it just felt like no matter who was on the field,
you didn't know.
It could be play action, could be a run. They could do anything. I mean, this is the exact antithesis of this. I talked about it last week. One normal drop back pass under center. What do they do when they're under center? They're going to run it with Kareem Hunt. So it's like even with a running back in the field, Andy Reid has done really, I mean, he's worked hard at truncating his playbook and his possibilities all season, and he's got to widen that out next year. Not only that, the text line's going crazy, and I've got to mention it because it should be mentioned on that 4th and 6. Mm-hmm.
I was talking about the 4th and 1, though.
Yes, exactly. And that call.
The 4th and 6 at that point in time, you got to go for it there. I have no problem with that.
And you're right, because of what you did.
Right.
Because of the situation. And on that play, Rashee Rice is blocking Will Anderson. I don't know if you've seen that. Like, not even like a chip, and then I'm going to go run around. He did not run around. He's blocking Will Anderson. And that is what it forces Mahomes to have to kind of veer left. It's just little things like that. I just don't understand.
Yeah, and to Dusty's point about does he make that move if Butker makes the field goal? Probably not, but that you can't live your life that way. You can't sit here and say, God, if I just would have done this, or you can't change what has happened. But what you can do is affect the future and have a positive impact on going forward. At that point in time, you're in a field position game. How he didn't understand that is concerning to me. And if he did understand that and still made that decision, it's still concerning to me. The whole thing is very concerning.
From the 660, this is a good question, I thought, for you guys. Would you guys rather than miss the playoffs or lose in the first round?
Losing the first round.
Losing the first round.
Always make the
playoffs.
Yeah, always make the playoffs. Yeah, absolutely.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, I guess I'd be on the other side there at this point.
Are you talking about this season specifically or just every year possible?
I mean, I just read I don't know, just this season, I guess, would be.
No, this season, I would just make the playoffs.
Always make the playoffs.
Yeah, always make the playoffs. Always.
Yeah, I'm usually that way. I guess I'm veering another way this time.
No, you're seeing the evidence in front of you, and you're just done. You're like in a bad relationship right now. No matter what they do, you don't care anymore. I get it.
For sure, and I think part of my thing last year was this team isn't as good as their record. They're winning these close games. They should be winning more, and now it's all coming to fruition. So I'm like, okay, if they make the playoffs and play well in the first round and lose to a good Bills team or name your team, it's like, oh, well, see, guys, we were right there. Just patch a couple things together. I want this to
see what you're saying.
I want them to feel the gravity of this situation.
Yeah, you want them to fail so they make the changes that they need to make and don't get swayed by.
Yes.
Danon kind of talked about that earlier, and about, this team getting all the way to the Super Bowl last year kind of, blinded them on what they needed to do this offseason.
We're just 2 plays different than last year's team, and we're not better and we're not worse. The record is worse, but we're not worse. And I think because we were winning football games, maybe some things were brushed under the rug, and we thought we could win the same type of way this year, and that's not the case. Teams have caught up to us.
Yep.
That's it. They have caught up to them.
Yeah, they're stale.
Spice. Yep.
Yeah, they're stale.
And it's one thing, to have teams catch up to you, then you change. And that's what this offseason is going to be about. If they come back next year and it's a lot of the same, we're having different conversations.
No doubt about it. Coming up on the other side, we'll talk to Josh Briscoe at 8:20. Plus, we'll talk about what Bob thinks is the issue with this offense on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is Creed Humphrey, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Cheese Football, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, I'll tell you something. My friends over at Newton James, that's the place to go for clothing, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. You're not going to find a store like this anywhere else in Kansas City. They've got unbelievable stuff. And I've been to Newton James a couple of times now. I got new jeans from Newton James, like jeans I've never had before. They fit perfectly. They are the best jeans that I have ever owned. And it's not even a contest. I got a pair of khakis at Newton James. Phenomenal. I'm not a big khaki guy, but these pants that I found at Newton James are unbelievable. Got a sweater that's a hoodie. Got some new sneakers as well. Newton James has it for everybody. And we're talking about an upscale boutique that has classic menswear that you've been looking for, and it's located in downtown Overland Park, right there at 80th and Metcalf. Just go in there and check out all of the great clothing. You'll go in there and you'll be like, man, I wish I would have found this place sooner, because they can take care of you from everything and redefine what menswear should be with the best designers from the United States, the UK, and Japan. And their new seasonal collection just dropped, but the most popular colors and modern cuts always go first. So get into Newton James and check out their display of clothes. When you walk into that store, you're going to be like, dang, I wish I would have known about this years ago. Well, you couldn't, because it's brand new. They're located at 80th and Metcalf in downtown Overland Park. And whether it's a winter wedding, whether it's a good look at work, whether you're going to play golf, at Newton James, they believe someone has to be the best dressed man in the room. It might as well be you. Check them out on Instagram or at newtonjames.com. But better yet, stop by and say hi. 80th and Metcalf, downtown Overland Park with Newton James.
The world's largest sportsbook at your fingertips has arrived in Missouri. Circa Sports is sports betting the way it should be. With high app limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service, Circa Sports is better for the better. From football to basketball, college sports to pro, start betting like the pros in Missouri. Built for sports bettors by sports bettors. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. Must be 21 or older. For problem gambling, call the Problem Gamblers Helpline at 1-800-522-4700.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
At Casey's, when someone asked for a cup of coffee that wouldn't put them in debt, but still had freshly ground beans, rich flavor, and a price that starts with a 9 and ends with a D9 cents, we were too nice to say no. Any size darn good coffee, just 99 cents with Casey's Rewards. Limited time only. See store for details.
Thanks for calling the Holiday Gift Line from the Missouri Lottery. If you still have presents to buy, don't panic. Missouri Lottery Holiday Scratchers and Draw Games are perfect for everyone on your list 18 and over. And you don't even need a gift receipt. Happy holiday gifting from the Missouri Lottery. Play responsibly.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke.
Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
Men, we hear it all the time. A man comes in to get his erectile dysfunction treated, and very soon thereafter, he tells us that his relationship is renewed. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and you should know that ED doesn't just affect you, it also often affects your partner. They can feel undesired, unwanted, they may even feel like you don't love them anymore. At Heartland Men's Health, we've successfully treated thousands of men for ED with protocols that have success rates as high as 90%. Which means if you're like most men, we can get you back to the guy you used to be. You could even last up to an hour or more and find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and give your partner the gift of renewed love. Your first visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in our office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Kansas side, 635 southbound, still very heavy from Kansas Avenue, mostly crawling all the way down to I-35 with an accident that blocked 2 right lanes at last check. 70 eastbound, heavy approaching 57th Street, stay slow into the 635 interchange with construction. Missouri side, 70 westbound, heavy past Van Brunt, moves better once you get up towards the 23rd. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
All right, Bob, tell the people how they can win some money.
All right, that's what we're going to do. We're going to give away an opportunity for you to qualify to win a $500 gift card to Hy-Vee at the end of the week. Each day this week, we will play a highlight with the Chiefs player's name bleeped out. If you know what Chiefs player that is, be caller number 5 to 913-586-7965. If you get the answer right, you will be one of our 5 qualifiers to win the $500 Hy-Vee gift card that will be announced at the end of the week. Took a qualifier yesterday. Let's do a qualifier today.
3rd and 6 for Mahomes at his own 40. Ryder will snap it. Right hand on the ball at the near hash. Twist motion by the Titans with defensive pressure, but Mahomes has time here. He throws it long. He's got a man in the middle of the field. 15, 10, 5, angling left. Touchdown! Kansas City, a 60-yard touchdown!
All right, if you know who that was, 913-586-7965, be caller number 5, and you will be today's qualifier to win that $500 Hy-Vee gift card at the end of the week.
Hell yeah. We'll get to Josh Briscoe in just a little bit, but obviously every season we think there's going to be a fall guy if things don't go right. Kansas City, we'll say they're probably not going to be a playoff team. They aren't a playoff team.
No,
needed the Chargers to win lose last night. They win in overtime. Jalen Hurts 4 interceptions and a fumble, I believe, in that game. 5 total turnovers.
3 on one play.
Yeah. And you look at the Chiefs team, and I know there's going to be people that, where do you fix it? Where do you change it? Where do you go in a different direction? Your focus is in the wide receiver room.
Yeah, how do you feel about the wide receiver position?
I like what Danon had to say, that they don't have what he said was the big tree type of guy. They've got Xavier Worthy, who's a little small, which somebody in the text line said is Xavier Worthy, McCole Hardman 2.0.
I think he's worse.
And then, we've seen the Rashee Rice. Now that we've seen basically a full season, we got, a rookie season where they opened him up for about 6 to 7 games. No pun there. And then misses, after week 4, misses the entire season last year. So there's 10. And we've seen him since week 7 here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's
17.
Right on cue.
Yeah.
So we've seen what a full year of Rashee Rice looks like. The drops are an issue. I think you can get better at that. I think there are some people that, can have that early in their career. But, if he can fix that issue, I think that's fine. I'm not sure about Xavier Worthy. I don't know how healthy he is this year, but I also don't know how great he could possibly be. Because where Tyreek Hill was great was the tracking of the ball in the air. Xavier Worthy has none of that.
None of that.
Xavier Worthy, that's why I think the 40-yard dash is overrated. It's a straight line with no pads and just straight there. Or if you're Chris Jones, the pads fall off. And when you look at Xavier Worthy, it's like you still have to wear pads, you still have to run the route, you have to know where you're at. So maybe that's more so on coaching to get him going, but I think the receiver room is a B-, if that's maybe too
Are you just
high.
talking talent?
Yeah. I think potential talent, I think with Hollywood and Taekwon and, Juju and Rice and Worthy, I think you could give that a B-. I think a lot of people went into the season thinking it could be an A+.
Yeah, and you start to look at where they would have been without Tyquan Thornton, too, this year. I mean, what a great move to go out and get him and have him on this roster. But also, too, you have to start to evaluate. You mentioned the drops, and I can't take that. I just can't. And when you regress as a player, which I do believe Rashee Rice has done, I have to go back to coaching because you're not going to get rid of all these players, and that's Connor Embry. I don't know why he deserves to be back next year because I don't think this is a position that has gotten better over the last couple of years. I mean, we blame Kadarius Toney and some of all this stuff, but eventually it comes back to the coach. And drops are a big thing for concentration and accountability as well. If you're the wide receiver coach, you have to hold these guys accountable for dropping the football, right? I mean, we saw it all the time. Tiki Barber, when he was a member of the Giants, would fumble, and they taught him how to carry the ball better. They had him tuck it up real high, and once they taught him and coached him, he didn't have a problem fumbling the football.
Do you have the text line open?
I do not.
That's like the top text.
Is it really?
It says if Tiki Barber can fix fumbling, Rashee Rice can fix drops.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what it is. I'll prove it to you. I don't
No, I believe it. No,
I don't have the text line open, right? That's wild. Is that my dad texting in or something?
913 number?
No.
Okay.
But that's kind of what it reminds me of. Like they took when Tom Coughlin came in, he went to Tiki Barber and taught him how to carry the football and never fumbled it after that. These are teaching things. These are accountability things. If you continue to drop the football, therefore you will not play. You have to start affecting these guys with playing time and fines and all of that kind of stuff that's going to get through their minds to make them know and understand that they can't do this kind of stuff. And so I'm trying to figure out with this Connor Embry guy, who's gotten better under this guy? Rashee Rice hasn't. Xavier Worthy sure hasn't. I mean, I just don't know who he's helping move forward and get better. And so after a season that doesn't go to the postseason, there will be fall guys, I would think, whether it's Dave Toub from a special team standpoint retiring or whether it's, Connor Embry, the wide receiver coach. But I think that's really where we need to start focusing. And everybody gets excited about, Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy and everybody going to eat. They're running a soup kitchen out there from the wide receiver position right now because nobody's eating. And when they do, it's basically gruel. And so they've got to do a better job of coaching these wide receivers and getting them to play better because I don't believe anybody is really improving under Connor Embry.
He's the first voice you hear 3 hours before kickoff and the first voice you hear after the final whistle.
Future Hall of Fame receiver, future Hall of Fame quarterback, being able to figure it out for the last half of the season.
Here's the new Chiefs Radio Network pregame and postgame show host, Josh Briscoe.
All right. Pre- and post-game host, you heard it on the promo, Josh Briscoe. I'm sure you get it. I mean, you get it right away, man. You get that post-game reaction, the text line, all that. But instead, after the game, instead of dwelling and licking the wounds, you were hanging out with Hooters.
Whoa, that's not exactly true, Dusty. I understand. It's a common misconception about how I spend my post games. But no, it's partially true. I got home, the sad drive back in silence, the walk into the house at 12:30 a.m. or whatever, and I heard two owls hooting at each other in my backyard. So that was just a nice little spark of the magic of the animal kingdom after yet another pretty disappointing football game.
Well, it's funny about the owls because I have two plastic ones on the side of the house right now. We have a woodpecker problem. So if you can get those owls to move to my yard, I will gladly pay you Tuesday for two owls today.
Bob, I'll trade you. In fact, I love woodpeckers. I understand it's not going to be good for the sighting, but I have really been on a woodpecker tear recently. We got downy woodpeckers. I don't think we've gotten the red belly. I think those are the bigger ones. I'm guessing
I saw one of those
downy woodpeckers.
I don't know what it is, but I did see one that looked kind of like Woody. It was gray with a red head, and it was out on the trail, and it was big. And I'm like, oh my God, that's a big woodpecker. So if you want to come over and sit there and sit out back by the fire pit with me and watch the woodpeckers, man, you're more than welcome to do that. And I know I'm not supposed to say if you got a little trap or something, we can catch them, but they do mad damage to the house, man.
Yeah, I'll bring an owl and a cigar or something.
Perfect.
Now, honestly, I think that sounds better for my blood pressure than talking about the Chiefs as
No
this year.
doubt.
I agree.
So, talking about those Chiefs, was it more frustrating that Andy decided to go for it, or the play that was drawn up to go for it?
Oh, that's a good question. And look, I am going to answer that directly, but I want to make sure you guys know where I start from. I am a little bit of a nerd. I do want to see the fourth down bots. I do generally want more fourth down aggressiveness, and even a guy like Dan Campbell has gotten more aggressive than even the analytics. So I do like fourth down aggression, and I wish the Chiefs against the Cowboys, earlier in the game against the Texans, and even with that being said, when the offense stayed on the field at the 31-yard line, I was stunned. But I wasn't entirely upset because you've had the guy who's better than the tush push at picking that play up. So I think I am ultimately more frustrated with the specifics of the play call. And look, again, I want Patrick Mahomes to have the ball in his hands more often than not as well. But you guys talked about it earlier. I don't know if it was earlier this hour or after you talked to Dane. And I've been locked in today, fellas. I have been listening. I've been hearing. You've been doing some great stuff on these airwaves.
Thank you.
But I really do think there's something to the idea that they always want to have the ability to surprise a defense. You always want to have all your options out there, and sometimes that reveals itself with Kareem Hunt lined up tight left and Hollywood Brown running a little orbit motion. But the surprise that the Chiefs could actually show at this point would be Patrick Mahomes getting under center and play action to Kareem Hunt, where you have to sell out to stop him on 4th and 1. That really would be like the biggest curveball the Chiefs offensively could throw there. So if they would have gone out there and handed it to Kareem Hunt and he didn't get it, I think you go, well, that's a risky decision, but you tried your best play for that circumstance, and that makes sense. You go out there and you try something, a little play action to Kareem Hunt, and then maybe Mahomes rolls out and it's either Hollywood or nobody, and you go, man, it's frustrating, but at least you tried something that has shown evidence of working. And the play we ultimately got just sort of looked like a lot of the failed plays against the Texans, kind of a no chance, sad little dot over the middle, and it falls to the ground, and I don't think anybody was surprised when that fell incomplete.
When you look at this team and you look at the players that kind of have either been shown or not been shown, I'm sure you're on the same side as most of us over here, but we see, Pole come in and play left tackle. I'm not saying that he's going to be a LT1, right? I'm not saying that, but the fact that maybe you had that guy on your roster and never really saw him, and then you throw him out into what is, I think we could all agree, the best defensive line in football, maybe them or Denver, however you want to do 1A, 1B, and to see that production from him and Noel Williams and stuff like that, is there an issue with, like roster evaluation with this team this year? Or is that me just in panic mode?
I mean, there's something. They're 6 and 7. Like, that's the place where I do feel like there's a little bit of safety in being critical of the general picture. It's not a totally different operation than it was when they went to 3 consecutive Super Bowls. But so what did happen this year? And I'm kind of with you. I mean, this is a team that traded for Derek Nottie and let Mike Pennell go, and then got Mike Pennell back and spent a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit of money on Jerry Tillery early in free agency. Well, now Nottie, Tillery, and Pennell are all basically playing the same rotation of snaps, right? You cut Esopole at your roster cut downs. He goes to the Jets. He comes back, and he might have given you the best tackle performance you saw against that Texans pass rush on Sunday night. So I do think there's got to be that question of like, wait, so what? And all the reports were that the Chiefs really liked Pole, and they thought they could get him to the practice squad when they cut him and cut downs and all of that. But I would ask, like, what is it that's having you have more confidence in Wanye Morris, or why this team seems to love Mike Caliendo? And as a 6th lineman, that's important, to have some agility and everything. And so he's a little undersized at guard. That's no secret. It's that's why he's a 6th lineman and not a 2nd, 3rd, or 4th lineman. But I do wonder how do you find these guys who you are either so in love with that you're going to part from potentially promising young players, or how do you make that transition? And again, the defense was not in any way the problem against the Texans. It was a really good day from the defense. But Mike Edwards played almost 3 times the snaps that Jaden Hicks played. And that's like just odd. When you go, wait a second, he's been like a practice squad veteran, and obviously they've had injuries rolling through and all of that. But is Jaden Hicks just not going to be one of those guys? Or was there a real reason that Mike Edwards has gotten more playing time than Hicks has as of late? Or is that a thing where Spags is trusting the vets? And again, it's silly even to bring up the defensive ones outside of this conversation about talent evaluation. Who do the coaches want? Who does the front office want? And how those pieces all fit together. I talked about Joshua Uche last year more than any healthy human being. And then you see him, have a nice little season after he gets out of here. So I do think there's something to be ironed out there, and I think this offseason they absolutely have to just figure out where those gears haven't quite clicked together.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Uche, Josh Briscoe, because I'm looking at what I saw on Sunday, and Esapole, as we've talked about, has been fantastic, and so that's great, fantastic, wonderful. My biggest concern is if they missed on him, how many other people are they missing on because they're not giving them that viable opportunity because they'd rather take some veteran on their team than maybe a younger guy? Or even Josh Uche kind of falls into that, that category as well. My mind immediately went to how many other guys are on this roster that can play, but the coaching staff is just not giving them, Andy Reid in particular, the opportunity to go out there and play.
I think you can also take that and attach it to the idea of who do you bring in. And the position group that jumps to mind for me then is the running back room, where I don't know what the Chiefs, here's the thing again, we truly don't know like how much of Andy Reid talked about having 51% of the vote all the time, but he also says Veach handles the personnel, right? Obviously that's hand in hand and they're doing that together. But this team has 7 running backs on the 70-man roster, including the practice squad. And I wonder if they make a more aggressive move for a running back in free agency this offseason, like last offseason, this previous offseason, if they don't feel so good about the familiarity of Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco, and they bring Clyde Edwards-Helaire back, and they kind of hedge a little bit on Elijah Mitchell. I wonder if there are other instances kind of in addition to that where you say, you know what, we are going to go ahead and double down with the familiar faces, the guys who do know the protection schemes and all of that, where, again, most of the time when you see the offense rolling at high capacity, 100% power, that's because these are players who are familiar with the Andy Reid offense, who have been in it long enough to really master it, and that's what you want to put out there. But this entire season, it hasn't looked like anyone's had a mastery of the offense. And so how do you balance that between having the guys who do know the system, who can bring other people along? Juju Smith-Schuster will always have a place on this roster, and I'm okay with him always having a place on the roster, but how do you make sure that you're getting Tyquan Thornton more involved? How do you use Xavier Worthy in the intermediate, even though they might not have as much of the confidence of the coaching staff as a guy like Juju brings, or, obviously the super vets like a Travis Kelce? I'm getting to another thing now, but I heard you talking to Danon about it. If Travis Kelce wants to come back next year, I'd love to have him, but you also do want to get to that point where you're figuring out what the next evolution of the offense looks like, and that was a reason that the Texans game was even more frustrating for me. Rashee Rice was supposed to be the guy to take that baton from Travis Kelce, and the greatest tight end of all time, Travis Kelce, and the number one weapon on this offense, Rashee Rice, both literally and figuratively dropped the ball against the Texans, and the season is very, very close to over. It's just that it feels like a perfect little summation of how this season's gone.
So your boy Mac had a minor take earlier because we were talking about the text line saying, would you rather just miss the playoffs or lose in the first round of the playoffs? And my theory is always make the playoffs. And Max says if they miss the playoffs, that might be the juice they need to realize what they need to, go out there and change.
Yeah, personally, I'd like to do more post-game shows. So I want them to play for as long as possible. I'd take a couple more preseason games. But I think there's something to that. Again, like nobody in that organization, I don't think, is probably thinking, yeah, let's just go ahead and get this thing over with. Let's try Gardner Minshew out there a few times, and that Week 18 game will be funny just from like a draft position standpoint, with the Raiders trying to get the top pick and the Chiefs probably being fully eliminated around then. But I guess we'll see. I do think there's a little bit of something to like, okay, can you, after all year saying we're just a tick off, just a thing to clean up, we're really, really close, if you miss the playoffs entirely and it's not, a doinked field goal in the wild card round that keeps you from advancing, I do think that may open a little bit more of an opportunity for some of that soul searching you guys have been talking about. But I also, I think that they probably really do still feel like they're close. They are still close. It is these one possession games over and over and over again. So I just hope this is the biggest challenge of the offseason. You've talked about assistant coaches. You've talked about decisions from the head coach, the personnel department, the players, the talent itself. The Chiefs' biggest assignment this offseason is to figure out what specifically failed this season and how you can fix that going forward. Because I really don't think they're going to need 30 new faces. This isn't a total overhaul. But you also only have so much flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you use that limited flexibility? You have to start by correctly identifying where the problems are at.
Don't you also, though, think, Josh, in a realistic way, every team in the NFL is this close? I mean, it is the NFL, right? And so when I hear we're this close, well, you're basically every other NFL team that's not in the playoffs. You're a couple plays away from being where you need to be, and you're a couple plays away because of bad decisions, bad plays, bad whatever the case may be. So I hate when they say we're this close and we're not that far away. That's the difference in the NFL between being a playoff team and being a team that's talking about the draft.
You're 100% right. But I think it's still true, but it is frustrating, and it's not terribly helpful to your point.
Yeah.
Like, look, I think everybody's close except the Jets. But if you told me that the Jets magically got the rights to Patrick Mahomes, they'd be in the wild card race, bare minimum. They might be a playoff team because they have Patrick Mahomes. So no, I absolutely think that's true. You are always close in the NFL. That's why the sport is so good at holding on so tight to 32 fan bases, because you always could be a quarterback away. Most teams are a few players away from getting into that mix, and it's also what made these last several years of these Chiefs runs so unbelievably impressive. They made it not look that close. And on the other side of that coin, you're always that close to falling off, to losing your spot. And right now, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens, the Eagles right now are all struggling with the fact that they are on the downslope. And I think the Bills obviously just had a nice win, but like all of those teams are not at the places they thought they'd be coming into this year. So it's a double-edged sword that way. Everybody's close to winning, everybody's close to losing, and trying to fend that off, and fending it off successfully for as long as the Chiefs have, is really impressive. But nobody wants to hear that in early December. You want to be talking about the playoffs.
No doubt about it. Or Phillip Rivers playing quarterback again.
I mean, is there another? Have you guys looked to see, has anyone ever started a game at quarterback as a grandfather?
As a grandfather, no, but I did see the ages of the oldest people to have played quarterback in the NFL. And we have to go back to 1975. 48-year-old George Blanda played for the Raiders.
Yeah, okay, good.
2022, 45-year-old Tom Brady played for the Buccaneers. And then we have Steve DeBerg, Warren Moon, and Vinny Testaverde all at the age of 44. DeBerg playing for the Falcons in 98. Warren here in Kansas City in 2000. Testaverde for the 07 Panthers. Who the hell remembers that?
Wow.
And then Doug Flutie at 43 started for the 2005 Patriots. So he's going to be top 5 oldest people to start. Grandfather, I think it has to be the first.
I mean, look, Phillip Rivers' resume on the field and off the field is really impressive. So I think he deserves, if anybody does, he deserves to be the first NFL quarterback to get some NFL action as a grandpa. That's nothing more Phillip Rivers than that, other than the pick he will throw immediately after entering the game.
To take it one step further, this is great. Phillip Rivers was drafted April 24th, 2004. There are 10 players who appeared in an NFL game this season who weren't born then.
I guess you could say he was grandfathered in. And on that, I will let you have the rest of the day off, Josh Briscoe. We appreciate it. Continue looking for those Hooters out in the backyard.
Hoot, hoot, baby. We'll talk to you later.
No doubt. Coming up next, who is the coach of the year? We'll discuss who our candidate is on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is Chris Jones, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, I'll tell you what, everybody has some pain, right? Yeah, you're feeling it right now, but I'll tell you something, man. QC Kinetics can help you get rid of all of that pain. I tell you, QC Kinetics can make the pain go away. Right here in Kansas City, QC Kinetics will help you because they believe relief doesn't have to come from surgery or pain pills. They use your own body's natural healing abilities to repair and restore what's been lost, helping you move, live, and feel like yourself again. It's your body's comeback story powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery, just your body remembering how to feel alive again. And QC Kinetics delivers long-term relief. Make that new year your turning point where the pain finally stops defining you. With QC Kinetics, healing is within reach. So you want to enjoy the holidays and the new year without pain. Schedule your free consultation today. Now's a great time to use your HSA and FSA for treatments. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. All 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, it's QC Kinetics.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you like everybody else in the world who has no idea what to get everyone for the holidays? Well, you're in luck. We got you. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down, no touching, no fuss. Plus, Skechers slip-ins come in everyone's favorite styles and colors. And you can get slip-ins everywhere stylish footwear is sold, including a Skechers store. Or if you're too busy to shop in person, just get them online at Skechers.com, Amazon, and more.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back. And however you like to get in on the action, you can do it on Underdog right now in Missouri. This season, you can make team picks and player picks. Just download the app, sign up, and you'll get $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Using Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite team will win or if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Plus, with Underdog's quick payouts, you get your profits fast. So download the app today and use promo code BOB to score $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Player picks, team picks, all on Underdog. Crypto.com predictions powered by Underdog predict. Trading derivatives involve risk and may not be appropriate for all. For more information, visit https://www.nadx.com/rules and https://underdogfantasy.com/rules. For Crypto.com predictions, the term pick refers to a product traded on CDNA. Must be 18 and over, present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
The Chiefs have been scoring a ton of points lately, and that means I'm saving a ton of money at Hy-Vee. And now I have even more reason to cheer on the Chiefs because I score big fuel savings when I shop Hy-Vee the day after any Chiefs game. Win or lose, I'll earn a fuel saver discount equal to the Chiefs score based on the amount I spend. If the Chiefs score 35 points, I save 35 cents a gallon when I spend $35 on groceries. So the more we score, the more I save, only for my friends at Hy-Vee.
It's Thirsty Thursday at Hy-Vee. Time to stock up the bar and fill up your tank.
Earn 50 cents per gallon fuel savings on every $50 purchase of wine, beer, hard seltzer, and spirits. Mix and match all your favorite libations and get a 50-cent fuel saver with every $50 purchase. Stack up the savings, and your next fill-up could be free. Don't miss Thirsty Thursday at your Kansas City, Missouri Hy-Vee. Product promotion differs by location. Offers valid where legal, available while supplies last.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Northland 29 southbound, heavy from 635 down past 169 with an accident. 169 highway southbound, very heavy from 9 highway down towards the airport exit with a problem there. Kansas side 70 eastbound, slow from 57th over to 635, and then 35 northbound, heavy from Mission up towards the state line with an accident. Alan Carr, 96 pound The Fan, traffic.
Back from the break here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. For those still hopeful for the Kansas City Chiefs, last night was not the night we wanted. Chargers take over the Eagles in overtime and win that game, a game that Jalen Hurts had 5 total turnovers in. Man, we're going to talk Coach of the Year, and that's a coach over there in Philly that he is on a hot seat, getting hotter and hotter.
Well, it is, and I saw the Eagles reporter for our sister station, WIP, say, just win next week, get in the playoffs, get that home game, and see what we can do. And like everybody's kind of grasping for straws in Philadelphia based on what they kind of witnessed last night and how that game went. And, really, it's blasphemy because I was listening to our sister station this morning because why wouldn't you after a game like that, right? Immediately, I'm like, all right, let's see on the Odyssey app what they got going on in Philadelphia today. And they were complaining about running the football. And I'm like, oh, my God, are we doing the same thing here? The difference is they have Saquon Barkley, and they don't utilize Saquon Barkley. And the Chiefs, at least they don't have a running back for all intents and purposes. We don't have a running back on this roster. And when they don't bring Pacheco back, I don't want to hear fans complaining, oh, how do we let Pacheco go? It's time. That guy, I don't know. He hasn't done much over the last year, quite honestly. So it's time to move on from him. But they have Saquon Barkley, and they're not even utilizing him. Imagine having that running back here in Kansas City and not utilizing him. And I think there's some fear in the organization that they can bring in the running back, but it's not going to get utilized because Andy doesn't want to run the running back.
Which is hilarious how teams say they do and don't listen, because Saquon Barkley last night, 20 rushes for 122 yards, 6.1 average, 0 receptions.
Yeah, they also, when they were under center, they were 8 yards a play. When they were shotgun, they were 3 yards a play.
You talking about the Eagles?
Yes.
Yeah, so every team goes to the shotgun, and every team is better under center. I mean, like seriously, I understand, like, this is where we are, but maybe it's time to evolve back and bring back, what goes around comes around in sports. And in, 5 years, like, oh, we got to be under center because it's better. And then in 10 years, like, oh, let's get out from underneath the center. But it shows when you're under the center, you could do a lot more, keep teams off balance a little bit. I mean, it's just a different way to approach the game that teams in this league are not willing to utilize. And so, if you're in Philadelphia this morning and Saquon Barkley, 20 carries is great. Overtime, he should have carried the ball. You're having your quarterback throw it, who's had 18 interceptions already that day. Give it to Saquon Barkley. They didn't do that. So I understand why they're mad they're not running the football. We're not running the football because we don't have a running back on this roster capable of running the football. Two different things.
Some guys that understand what they need to do with their roster are rewarded at the end of the year, whether that is a surprise, whether that is a solid season. And that award is, of course, the Coach of the Year. Guesses on who leads right now in the clubhouse?
It's different every week. I don't know anymore.
It's minus 300 is
minus
the leader.
300. Let me think.
Stop thinking.
Oh, the guy in New England.
Yes.
Yeah, Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel is at minus 300. Behind him is Mike McDonald. That is your coach in Seattle. and then Liam Cohen, and then Ben Johnson. Those are your top 4 coaches of the year.
Huh.
Who do you guys?
I would give it to Kyle Shanahan, and I don't think there's an argument to be made, in my opinion.
Love it.
With all the injuries that they've suffered, backup quarterbacks and all that kind of stuff, Kyle Shanahan has been awesome this year.
He is 5th at plus 1,600.
Yeah. I mean, what he's doing out there, like, that's what Coach of the Year is all about. Oh, my God, this thing fell apart, and we're 9-4.
Mac, do you have a candidate who you'd like to see win Coach of the Year?
Well, I love the Kyle Shanahan take. I'm just looking at the schedule here, and yep, there's not. So they end their season at home against the Seahawks. That would be a huge win, but I don't think it's enough to get over that hump of Vrabel, whereas Vrabel, that award of Coach of the Year and MVP both hinges upon their game against the Bills. I don't know if that's this week
this
or
weekend.
next. Yes,
no,
this
it is.
weekend.
Yeah.
So, like, MVP could be decided, Drake May and Josh Allen. If Josh Allen beats Drake May, he'll be the MVP. You can book that. And if Mike Vrabel wins this game, he's Coach of the Year.
Josh Allen beats Drake May, he'll be the MVP?
Yes.
That's not a chance.
Okay.
Who would be?
Matthew Stafford is the favorite. It's minus 200.
Yeah, the Vegas odds don't mean anything to me when it comes to
every
that.
week. Yeah.
They're irrelevant. I
But the
think
one thing that's been consistent is that the 2 guys at the top of the list have been there consistently, and it's been Drake May and Matthew Stafford.
Been consistently for the last 3 weeks. Josh Allen was the top 2 all season. Dude.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't.
Plus 1,400. It's a good bet to me.
The odds are just to get you to put money on those things. They don't determine who is going to be the MVP or whatever. It's guys like Binkley who have a vote in that sit down and put pen to paper and make that. So when you see the odds are fun, but the odds don't mean that's who really is the favorite per se when it comes to the voters. And I think a lot of it has to do with, which way the wind is blowing this week. That's why with Coach of the Year, I've been on Kyle Shanahan since probably, mid-season now for Coach of the Year. And I'm sticking with it because they continue to win games and do it with Brock Purdy and do it with Mac Jones and do it with whoever's playing on that field at this point in time for them. Every week it's a major injury and they figure out a way. And so that's why I'm consistent with Kyle Shanahan right now for Coach of the Year and the MVP. I'm kind of with Mac on this one. I think the winner of that game is such a big game. If Drake May wins that game, he's MVP. If Josh Allen wins that game, he continues to show that maybe he is the best quarterback in the NFL, and it's his league now.
Yeah, you definitely have to win the division, so that would give Josh Allen some favorites. But, the Rams are probably going to win their division. They have a big one this week. It's the reunion game at 3:25.
They're going back to St. Louis?
No, they're playing the Detroit Lions, and Matthew Stafford's their quarterback. So that should be a fun game there.
Very fun game.
Sunday night, Minnesota, Dallas.
That game sucks.
Big time. But 9 will be playing, so that's cool. He's great. I will say that I think the Coach of the Year belongs to Dave Canales if, in fact, they win that division. It's very much out there to take.
That division's wide open, isn't it?
Right? I think right now it's 7-6 is what the Tampa Bay Bucks are leading that division in.
Just lost to the Saints.
They just lost to the Saints, and Carolina's obviously right behind them. Dave Canales, no one took Carolina serious. I thought they'd be picking first again in this draft. Bryce Young has been absolutely reborn. He looks much better there. Tedero McMillan and Xavier Leggett are working. Their running back combination is working. Rico Dowdle, hello. Dallas, Kansas City, McFly, hello, was there, and they made it work. Canales has had a great season this year. And again, we look at what the award has always been. Who has surprised us and made it, if Stefanski can win it twice because he took the damn Browns to the playoffs, how can Canales not win it taking Carolina, who's been the biggest joke since Cam Newton walked out of a press conference at the Super Bowl?
They play the Panthers, or the Panthers play the Bucks. That is twice.
You better
in
believe
the last
it.
4 weeks
That's
of the
this season,
so
man.
that's the
Everybody
division.
plays each other twice in the final 3 weeks.
There you go.
You guys hate it, but we love it too.
Yeah, but I don't like it in the middle of the season.
No, that sucks,
like
but
week 9 and 11, you're playing. Come on,
but weeks 15
and 17,
yeah,
that's the way it should be at the end of the year, but not at the beginning of the year. It sucks that they did that. At the beginning of the year, midway through the year, boy, we were on Baker's jock. We were on the coach of Tampa's jock.
MVP.
Again, this is why we don't make decisions in the early parts of the season. We let the whole thing play out before we decide who is good and who isn't. Because during the middle of the season, we thought that coach at Tampa was wonderful. He's a great head coach. Todd Bowles is fantastic. Nah, he's the same guy that coached the Jets.
Yeah, my Tampa friend wants him gone. He's wanted him gone. But
That was my next point.
Yeah.
Tampa's probably going to fire him at the end of the year if they don't win this division, and they should.
They should.
Because that division is ass.
And they've watched two what seemingly good head coaches leave their room back-to-back years in Canales and Cohen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Cohen's up there as well for coach of the
Yeah.
year. Also, Josh Allen 4th right now in odds for MVP. You want
Great bet.
Guess who's at 3rd? We gave you 1 and 2, as in it is Stafford, Drake May, blank space, Josh Allen.
Who's 3rd?
Who's got it? You
Miles
have it?
Garrett?
I know.
You
So
know.
okay.
Okay. You said Miles. No, not a defensive player.
Oh, well, it should be. I mean, the guy's got 20 sacks.
Yeah.
I'm with you. He's defensive player of the year is like minus 1,000, so it's off the board.
I don't think you'll get it, Bob.
Okay, that's fine.
Jordan Love. Yep, there we go. That's what I.
That looks says it all.
I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
Third best odds, man.
That's why I don't take the odds seriously. Jordan Love
You better believe it.
for beating the Bears?
I wouldn't be surprised if Stafford or May win this, obviously, but that odds with Allen, it's over plus 1,000. Yeah, that's a bet to me. You should make that bet. I'm going to make that bet today.
Jordan Love?
Yeah, dude.
You beat the Bears because Caleb stunk at the end.
They went from the 1st seed to the 7th seed.
And the
just like we
7th to the
said.
1st. It's so stupid,
And
but I mean.
That's why the odds jump.
Jordan Love, that's a sucker bet right there. There's some whacked out cheeseheads burning a Marlboro Light and drinking a light beer going, this sounds good. Let's enter the meat raffle and go to a supper club. And they're going to get all this money from Wisconsin on Jordan Love. Brilliant by Las Vegas.
We'll have to live vicariously through them. Coming up on the other side, we'll get a start bench cut here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
This is voice of the Wildcats, Wyatt Thompson, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at West Shore Home are saying, all right, it's time to call us right now and get that remodeling project done, right? It's the holidays. You're out there buying for everybody else and taking care of everybody around you that you love. How about taking care of your home and making that investment into your house? Because it's the biggest investment you have, and you want to make sure it is top notch. And this time of the year, you can really tell if you have bad windows or doors in your house, right? Just walk by them and feel the breeze coming through. That's not free air conditioning. No, that is the breeze coming through because your windows don't work anymore. Same thing with your door. You got a towel shoved in your door to keep the cold air out? Well, I'll tell you what, you need a new door. And my friends at West Shore Home are going to help you with all of that. At West Shore Home, they're proving it doesn't have to be stressful to do your home remodel. With real-time scheduling and precise scan-to-plan accuracy, they make your remodel fast, easy, and convenient. That's why hundreds of thousands of homeowners have trusted West Shore Home to transform their bathroom, windows, and doors. Plus, right now, when you buy a full bath remodel, you'll get a second shower for free. So lock in an extra $500 off just for listening to the show. But you need to schedule now at westshorehome.com/fan. That's westshorehome.com/fan. It's West Shore Home.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens. Let me tell you about my friends over at GiveMeTheVin.com because I'm sure you've got a car that you're trying to get rid of. Well, I can tell you how to do it easily with GiveMeTheVin.com because they want to buy your car, whether it is your daily driver pickup truck, SUV, minivan, supercar, or exotic. So say goodbye to dealing with all those dealerships and private sale tire kickers and get a true buy offer for your car. GiveMeTheVin.com puts your car right on the money, providing you with a hassle-free online option to sell your car for more. It's as simple as going to GiveMeTheVin.com and entering your car's VIN number or license plate number. You'll get an offer on your car in minutes. That is way above any dealer quote. You can go to one of their pickup locations or they'll even come to you. It's as easy and it's fast. GiveMeTheVin.com is America's best car buyer. Hit it, boys.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Guys, you've heard of TRT, but you have no idea what testosterone can do for you. Once you start treatment, you'll wish you'd done it sooner. All the guys I know go to Synergen X and Low T Center for their TRT needs. The TRT test is free, not hundreds of dollars. The test is pure, not compounded. Guys feel full of energy, not like they're still waiting for it to kick in. So get in now for your free TRT test. No appointment necessary before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com.
Hey, Missouri, if you haven't heard by now, good news. FanDuel Sportsbook is live in the Show Me State, and they're kicking things off with an offer that's tough to beat. Right now, new customers in Missouri can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or more, you can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. So download FanDuel today and head to FanDuel.com/Missouri and join the excitement. Remember, new Missouri customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. Because Missouri, it's time to play your game of FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Men, you need to look great for holiday events. Let Peter's Clothiers give you the perfect fit you're looking for. From sportswear to suits and sports coats and sizes to fit every man. PetersClothiers.com or stop in today at 124th and State Line.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be 1,000,000 miles away. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit tremfya.com.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
This season, enjoy stress-free comfort with easy booking and trusted service from Anthony. Save up to $4,500 on a new high-efficiency HVAC system. Schedule today at anthonyphce.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Northland 29 southbound heavy from 635 to 169 with an accident. 169 highway very slow from 9 highway to the airport exit with the wreck. Kansas side 35 northbound slow from 69 highway merge up to 75th Street with new trouble there. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes videos like MVP Monday, Chiefs Take Tuesday, and Best Bets. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ, FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Back at it on Tuesday, 9 o'clock, start bench cut time. Jay's Southland Tow. Good to know Jay's Southland Tow. That's what the start bench cut is brought to you by. You guys all iPhone people? Did your guys' iPhone update last night?
I did not, no.
Mine is in a frenzy today.
I remember 15 years ago when I started doing this job, and I didn't have the iPhone yet, but Josh did. And he did an iPhone update, and it ruined the phone. And ever since then, I'm like, I don't want to do any updates because 15 years ago, there was an update that didn't go so well. And so anytime those show up, I'm always so hesitant. And I always think like, But then if you don't do the updates, then you end up having to buy software like I had to do one time to get to the update. It was awful.
Yeah.
So just do the updates, I guess.
Yep, there you go. Mine just does it overnight. I just wake up and it's like, surprise, here it is.
Yeah. I don't even have like an icon next to my update thing or anything like that.
Oh, really?
So
maybe mine was just behind. Is when you does your on your phone, is your clock like transparent like that?
No, it's
Yeah, see, you're due for an update. See how it's like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mac, is yours solid?
Is that
white?
what we're updating, the color of the clock?
Oh, there's a lot more. There's a lot more.
Yeah. Do they figure out Siri in this update? Because she sucks.
Oh. But like even when you text, if I don't know. Like this is what the new text screen looks like.
Okay.
Different. Anyways,
yeah.
Start bench cut brought to you by Jay Southland Tow. Get to know Jay Southland Tow. Who's at fault most that you blame for this season? So start bench cut. Obviously pretty self-explanatory. Start with the most at blame. Mahomes, Andy, Spags.
I'm going to start Andy. I'm going to bench Mahomes, and I'm going to cut Spags. Spags is a product of the talent on his defense right now. He knows he can't get home with 4, so he has to send the whole house to try to get somebody home, and that screws up everything. The more I'm convinced of the defense, it is not a Spags issue. It is a time to move on from players issue.
Yeah, that's why the guy who I'd be benching in this scenario for my 3 would be Veach. He's not up here. I'll put Spags in there because I do think he's under some of the personnel responsibilities. I don't know. I'll start Andy and I'll cut Mahomes.
Okay. Sorry, I just found out what national day it is. I'll get into that a little bit later.
Ooh, okay.
Matchups coming up this week in the NFL. There are 3 dynamite ones that stick out the most to me. Start, bench, cut. Bills versus Patriots. Packers and Broncos. Ooh. Rams and Detroit.
That's correct. Start all of them. Because they all have something really different, right?
Yeah.
Like the Rams versus Detroit. Stafford versus Flacco's guy, right? The storylines, all of that. I know not Flacco, but you know what I'm saying. Like it's the 2 quarterbacks going against each other that played for those franchises, that turned both of their franchises around. I mean, Goff has been great in Detroit. Obviously, Stafford has won a Super Bowl in L.A. They're playing head-to-head. I like that a lot. So I'll start that one. The Bills and Pats obviously is huge. I could start that as well. But I'll put that one on the bench just for right now because I just don't like Buffalo. Screw them. And then Packers versus Denver, I'll cut. Interconference matchup. It's an old Super Bowl from back in the day. Fun matchup on paper, but I don't want to watch Bo Nix continue to go out there and play good football.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll probably cut that one as well. I'll bench Rams in Detroit, and then I'll start Bills versus Pats for the reasons that I said previously. I think that's an MVP-type matchup. May versus Allen. Let's go. And divisional stakes.
Hoosiers champs. Yes, let's go.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I mean, I would have put the Colts up there because we don't know what Phillip Rivers is going to do this week.
If he's playing this weekend, I'm not watching anything else.
Must watch. Do you know who he plays against?
The Colts are playing...
Is it the Texans?
No.
Okay, good.
The Titans.
No.
The Jags.
No.
Okay.
Best defensive point-scoring defense in fantasy land of all.
Seahawks?
That's right.
Oh, that's right.
You saw the Seahawks have done the last 2 weeks defensively.
Yeah. It's been insane.
Could you imagine? You mentioned it earlier. We talk about guys taking a year off.
Yeah. 5. Yeah.
That's nuts. Hey, here's the Seattle Seahawks defense. It's been 5 years. Good luck.
Best of luck to you. Any defense for that matter.
Yeah.
After 5 years.
Just don't go look at what Eric Hosmer's brother did for Minnesota. Brosmer. He was first, what was that horrible interception we saw get thrown there? Not really other notable games in the week other than that one. I mean, Chiefs-Chargers, but it doesn't have any juice to it anymore.
No.
Commanders-Giants.
Huge.
Yeah. Raiders-Eagles. Browns-Bears. Ravens-Bengals.
Browns,
Cardinals-Texans. Jeez, Jacoby Brissett might be retired after this week. Moving on, we go on to what team you believe is the best playoff team in the wild card area for the AFC. Start, bench, cut. Chargers, Bills, Texans.
I'm going to start the Texans because of their defense. Defense wins championships. Then I'll go bench the Bills because they've got the pedigree. And until the Chargers show me something in the playoffs, I have no interest in them in the playoffs. So I'll cut them.
Bills.
Yeah, I'm going to start the Bills, but just because we're talking like playoffs. But if you're talking like overall team, the Texans team is better than the Bills team. But Josh Allen and the experience, I'm going to take that. Then Houston and, Chargers, no.
Moving on to the NFC side, the wildcard teams there. Seahawks, Niners, Bears.
I'm going to start the 49ers, bench the Seahawks, cut the Bears.
I'll start the Hawks. I'll bench the Niners. I'll cut the Bears.
They're going to make the pack of Mac next week. God, I'd love to see it. How about outside looking in from the NFC side? That's way more interesting than the AFC side. The Lions, the Panthers, and the Boys.
You know what? I'll go right in that order. I'll start the Lions. I'll bench the Panthers. Get the hell out of here with the Cowboys. Now, I do want them to win the division.
Of course.
But I don't want them in the playoffs unless they unseat Philadelphia, because if they win the division, the drama for us in this job will be just peak. And we're going to need that come January 7th when we're not in the playoffs. We need a disaster in Philadelphia. We need a mess in Dallas. We need entertainment. We need a good Black Monday to fire so many people.
The last time I was hard, it was a Super Bowl. Who's having sex with Jerry Jones?
It would be chaotic for sure. Give me the Cowboys to start, though, just because of that offense. I'll bench the Lions and cut the Panthers. What a fun story, though.
No doubt. Today's National Whatever Day on December 9th. Weary Willie Day.
Excuse me, did Zip text this one to you?
Men's wieners. That's what it says. Weary Willie Day. I know that I'm hard.
What does that mean?
I don't know. The guy has like clown shoes on. Is like a clown. Am I funny? Do I amuse you?
Okay.
National Pastry Day.
Oh, very good. What's your favorite pastry?
The crone or the is that
the cronut? Are you going with the cronut now?
No, scone.
Oh, scone is a good one. I was craving a scone the other day.
I love scones, man.
Who's got the best scone in KC?
My great-grandma. Oh, in KC? I don't know.
I don't know. Let us know. Text line, I am a scone lord.
Is there a good bakery that scones it up, bro?
Let's get stoned and have some scones.
We need some
there's
scones.
A podcast. Christmas card.
What?
I said day.
Smash.
Christmas card day. Last amount of clock on it as possible, right?
That's right. Yep.
I say clock.
Christmas card day. Say it too fast. It comes out Christmas Richard Day.
'Tis the season to be jolly. Christmas card day as well. Okay, and then National Lutefisk Day.
What?
You never had lutefisk? It's like a horrible fish.
Oh, that lutefisk? Yeah, no. Lutefish, right?
Fisk.
Oh, Fisk. Lutefisk.
Yeah. That's what Anthony Zimmern said was his worst meal he's ever had in his life. And that guy ate like eyeballs.
Yeah, that guy
Andrew
eats some
Zimmern.
weird stuff, man.
Zimmerman guy? Yeah.
Yeah, I had
Andrew
him on years ago. He had like a, what do you call those little stands out of Kauffman Stadium? Not the actual stadium. Yeah, kiosk out of Kauffman Stadium. And he was there. I'm like, hey, let's do an interview. He's like, all right, cool. He was awesome. That guy was homeless for a year.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I
Great
met
backstory.
him when we were at the Super Bowl.
Great backstory on him. Yep. Andrew Zimmern is just got, like, he was down and out on booze, cleaned himself up, was homeless for a year in Minnesota, of all places to be homeless.
Jeez.
And, now he's, what he is. So just because you're down doesn't mean you're out, folks.
Damn right.
Yeah, tell that to Pete Carroll. We'll continue the conversations on the other side here at 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Tune in to hear Mitch Holtis every Friday at 7:20, right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, I'll tell you what, I am so hyped because we've got Newton James here in Kansas City, and it is that perfect store for men when you're looking to find whatever it is that you need from a clothing standpoint. Every time I go into Newton James, I get more excited about the stuff that they have to offer for everybody. They've got great clothing from the best designers in the United States, the United Kingdom, and Japan. And the pair of jeans that I got there are awesome. They got a little bit of stretch to them, so they fit perfectly. And man, my wife likes how I look in those jeans. She's told me a number of times how awesome I look. And that's what Newton James provides. A wardrobe where my self-esteem gets a boost every time I wear something from Newton James. A great pair of khaki pants I got at Newton James. A sweatshirt that's a hoodie that I absolutely love. And of course, I've got some new sneakers from them as well. Newton James literally has something for everybody. And guys, it's the clothing store that you've been looking for. You always say, man, I wish we had a store like this here in Kansas City. Well, Newton James is that store. They've got popular colors, modern cuts. Those always go first. So get into Newton James now because their new seasonal collection just arrived. And at Newton James, they believe someone has to be the best dressed man in the room. It might as well be you. You can check them out on Instagram or newtonjames.com. But better yet, visit them downtown Overland Park, 80th and Metcalf. It's Newton James.
Our Best Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Our Best. We believe.
Extra, read all about it.
This is James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak Lending. The Federal Reserve just dropped interest rates again. And that means you can save even more money on your mortgage. If you've been waiting for the right time to refinance, this is it. Our customers are saving hundreds, even thousands every month. What could you do with an extra $1,000 every month? You can also pull cash out of your home's equity to pay off credit cards, do home improvements, or just get ahead. If you refinance now, you can make no payments until next year. And if your loan doesn't close, we'll even pay for your appraisal. But don't wait. Rates can rise again anytime, and they change fast. For today's rate, call Golden Oak Lending now at 913-890-GOLD. That's 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Land.
NMLS number 114937.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-830-4914. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-830-4914. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-830-4914. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-830-4914. That's 800-830-4914.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be 1,000,000 miles away. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit Tremfya.com.
What's up? It's Draymond Green. I'm back for my 14th NBA season, and my podcast, The Draymond Green Show, is back too. This season, I'm breaking down games, reacting to the biggest NBA stories, and sitting down with teammates, rivals, and culture shapers. And trust me, I'm not holding back, on the court or on the mic. 2 new episodes every week, new segments, big conversations, real basketball talk for the real hoop heads. Listen to and follow The Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're back, we're better, let's get it.
Gates Barbecue's distinctive flavors will make your holiday meals unforgettable. Spice up your holiday table with Gates sauces and seasonings. Prepare your meats, potatoes, and vegetables with Gates seasonings, and top it off with one of the 5 Gates sauces. While watching a game or your favorite holiday movie, sprinkle Gates original seasoning on a bowl of hot buttered popcorn. So good. You can buy Gates at your neighborhood grocer or online at gatesbarbecue.com. Gates Barbecue, still doing it the old-fashioned way. Thanks, with love.
Today, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 54.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies and services to get your packages there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples. That was easy.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Somebody on the text line says, this show gives me a sconer.
I like that.
Could have a new guest on the show, Eric Scone Street.
Mm-hmm. Or my old friend John Sconer.
Yeah. He has to wear the cat suit.
He does have to wear the cat suit if he comes in, though.
I made a mistake of looking down.
Yeah, you don't do that. Him and Paul, you didn't want to look down.
No. Terrible idea. Yeah, I mean...
That was like 11 years ago, bro.
Still wild.
Think how fast that went,
Are
right?
we at 69 days until pitchers and catchers?
70 today, I think. I think tomorrow is 69 days till pitchers and catchers. I said to Mac, it's time to start mixing in some baseball with all the action that is coming out of the winter meetings. It's only been 3 weeks that the Royals have been tied to Harrison Bader.
There's nothing going on.
I sent a friend of mine who works in one of the front offices in baseball, what that meme with the guy with the stick saying, do something. Because it's like, what are you people doing at the winter meetings? You're going to each other's suites and eating charcuterie boards that these teams paid for. and you're having a glass of wine, you're going out to dinner, and you're running up your expense account. That's what's happening at winter meetings. I guarantee.
Fun.
Have you seen anything? No, it's great. It's great. I'm speaking out of jealousy. It's awesome.
Talking and eating?
Everybody's just hanging out at the hotel bar. Come up to my suite. We got charcuterie. We have dessert in my suite. Come up to my suite. We can have a nightcap. I mean, this is what goes on. And,
What if I told you the best moves involved in baseball were during winter meetings when everyone was tanked at the bar?
Oh, God, yes.
Hey, if you send me Paul Skeens, I'll give you my 3 top prospects. You sure about that?
Yes.
You sure about that? Yes,
I am. Okay, deal done. You signed the paperwork. Where was that signed? On a cocktail napkin at the hotel bar. But I mean, have you heard anything coming out of the winter meetings? Besides, we've heard Harrison Bader to the Royals since August.
Oh, and now they're linked to Jared Duran.
We've heard that since August too.
Well, at least that one guy's no longer there. And Taylor Ward, is that his name?
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
at least that's off the table.
Yeah, that's off the table.
Darn, things are moving.
Yeah, they really are.
Coming from Shooter McGavin's Twitter handle, underrated movie villain, as he's doing holiday movie villains, Peter McAllister. R.I.P., by the way.
Somebody else had said that Peter McAllister was the real villain in that show.
Here's what his explanation is to his theory of why Peter McAllister is an underrated movie villain. Lets his brother call Kevin a jerk without any repercussions, zero backbone. Forgot to close the garage. Car batteries are dead for sure. When flight landed, couldn't have cared less about forgetting Kevin, just wanted to get to the hotel and relax. Calls losing kids a family tradition in front of the police and laughs about it. Gets mad at Kevin for room service bill. Sorry your kid didn't want to die from starvation. And also questionable mob ties where his money comes from. Peter McAllister.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah.
The uncle, too.
Oh, Uncle Frank?
Yeah.
Oh, he's just a scumbag.
He's a jerk, yeah.
Look what you did, you little jerk. We talked about it earlier, and I said this about Andy Reid. The analogy that I gave Andy Reid earlier is that I go back to my lake house where my grandfather had to do everything. And he didn't necessarily have to, but we let him because it was always done the right way. When we got there were 3 or 4 floats on the dock. There was noodles everywhere. There was a chair for everybody to sit there. The cooler was stocked with whatever you wanted, and everything was good to go. But at the time of his life, as he got older, he didn't necessarily have to do that because we all kind of knew what to do. We knew what a role could be. Like if I got there, it was go help your grandmother in the kitchen making sandwiches for the day, or go take the trash out, or just make yourself available. And then eventually I got older and I was like, hey, I can go put gas in the jet skis. I can lift the boat, do whatever I need to do.
People don't realize how much work goes into getting the lake ready for the day.
It's ton. And shutting it down is even worse.
Yeah.
Because at that point you're half tired and you just want to go inside. And it got to the point where Papa, you're old, man. Relax. Go have what he used to have was Clamato juice and vodka. He'd sit there and drink those on the dock or on the dock where everybody rustled around in
That's
the water.
That's a thick drink for the summer, bro.
Yeah. And Clamato juice and beer too in the morning, like the red beer in the morning. That just old school Irish, right? And so by the time that he had shown us all the way to do it, he had kids that were our parents and we were all grandkids. We knew what to do. And we were like, you don't have to do everything anymore. You can just relax. And if we need your supervised attention, then we'll ask for it. If we need to find out where the key is to certain things, only you know where that's at. So we'll come and find you for that. That is Andy Reid to me at this point in his career. He's the old man at the lake. I don't think he should be fired whatsoever. No. I think he should just be here as long as he wants to be here. But I do think it is time for Andy to kind of lessen the load to where, I talked to Dan about this. Does he take too much on? Does he not trust his advisors? Does he not trust the kids to pack the cooler or to get the gas or to move up and down the hill that is a mile long or what it feels like with rocks and everything everywhere? Maybe it's time for Andy to let others have a voice that's more evidently clear. Maybe that's Patrick Mahomes controlling the game. Maybe that's Andy taking a step back, because I do think that Andy Reid is still the best coach in football. I will die on that hill until he's gone out of the league. But I do think it is time to every once in a while sit back and reflect and say, you know what? Maybe I don't need to do everything anymore. Maybe I don't need to be the end-all, be-all voice. Maybe it's okay to trust these people who have watched me and learned under me. I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes and an offensive coordinator, Matt. Maybe give people more free reign. And if that's the case, maybe you can see things change. And then when they do need to find that little key that no one knows where it's at, like, hey, Andy, what do you want to call here? What do you want to bring into this game that maybe we could get your expertise on, where you're still the main voice, but there's other voices that could have a main attraction too? And I think that's where Andy's at right now in the season because a lot's gone wrong.
Everybody needs help in life, Dusty, right? And I was actually having this conversation with my daughter yesterday. I was having this conversation on Sunday with my wife. Both of those are cut from that same mold that your grandfather is, where they refuse to ask for help. And so my daughter's been doing that all year in math, and we had to go meet with the teacher yesterday to figure out what's, going wrong. And it all comes down to her just asking and be willing to ask for help. It's not something that she finds easy. My wife never asks for help with anything. And so she was putting together a particle board desk from Walmart the other day, or Vanity, right? You know how those things are. They're pieces of junk, right? They're not good quality. They're horrible. And you get what you pay for. So instead of my wife asking for help, she tries to move this thing by herself. What does it do? It breaks. So then we have to put it back in the box. Instead of her asking for help, tries to do it herself, it falls all the way down the stairs and goes right through the stair rail. Just right through. Just crashed right through. Took off all the newel posts. I'm like, if you would have just asked for help, we wouldn't be in this situation. And so I love the analogy that you gave with your grandfather at the lake, because that's kind of where Andy Reid is right now, right? He needs to be able to ask for and then be willing to accept that help. It's okay to ask others to do it. That's why we have, 25 people on a coaching staff. And I was sitting around yesterday kind of thinking about this whole season in a nutshell and what really went wrong, this season. And ultimately, when it comes down to it, Dusty, the season was lost because of Andy Reid. And I've got reasons why and proof why this one ultimately is on Andy Reid and why he should be seeking more input from others. Number one, that Andy Reid, for me, really screwed up this year was the penalties. That, to me, is coaching. That is discipline. That is, and I hate to sound like the old man, accountability. There's no accountability anymore. Bring it full circle. Yesterday, our boss, Steven Spector, who told us that he doesn't want the library done anymore. Cut the library, just like he cut Shout It Out and everything else that's good, right? And so he's the boss. He doesn't want us doing it anymore. We didn't come in here and say, screw you, and do the library anyway. We did what our boss told us to do. I would imagine your boss is telling you, if you're Jawan Taylor or whoever else, to stop committing the penalties, but you're not listening to your boss. You're throwing it in his face. And Andy Reid never really held anybody truly accountable for all of those penalties that happened this year. That's number one. Number two, the play calling this year, I think, has lacked a lot. His refusal to run the football is what I'm getting at. And that's got to change this offseason. It's gotten so bad with the play calling. This isn't just me. This is Justin Reid we talked about. This was whoever was on the Denver defense. Chris Jones brought it up. The predictability of this team, both offensively and defensively. Everybody knows what's coming. Yesterday, 2 days ago, 4th and 1, you emptied the backfield. Terrible job of play calling. Personnel falls on Andy Reid as well. After watching Esapole and Noel Williams play over the weekend, I wonder how many more guys can play on this roster, but they're not giving them the opportunity to go out there and play. And then Josh Briscoe brought up Joshua Uche from a year ago. And that guy's still playing football somewhere and having a nice little career for himself. They never gave him that opportunity here in Kansas City. How many of those guys, the Joshua Uches, the Esapoles, are on this roster and could be helping this team, but they're not getting an opportunity because they're not giving them an opportunity? Listen, Andy says it all the time, right? Is he listening to those around him? As your grandfather analogy went, probably not that much. From play calling to personnel and everything in between, you've got all these guys on staff that are great. You got to listen. You got to let them have their input and help you out with these things. Energy. There's been no energy on this team to the point where we hear about it at halftime of every single game. That's on the coach. You dictate the energy. You got to bring the energy. And then stale. We've not seen any involvement on this offense whatsoever. The league's caught up to everything that they're doing, and there's no panic mode. They're not getting teams their ass kicked on a Tuesday like they were before. Right now, they're getting their ass kicked on Sunday instead of kicking ass on Tuesday. And so because of all those things, that reflects back on the head football coach. He gets all the credit and all the praise when things go well, and rightfully so. But when things go wrong, that's where you really are the leader, and you do have to take ownership for what went wrong this year. And to me, all of those things directly point back to the head football coach.
Yeah, it's a season of up and downs. And I think when you've had such great success, And then all of a sudden you look at what everybody said, as you had mentioned earlier, and Dana had mentioned this earlier as well, like, teams around you have drafted to stop you.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't necessarily happen in year one, maybe it doesn't happen in year two, but we've seen teams start to catch up. We're watching Denver, and their defense is now a problem against the Chiefs. We're watching the Chargers. They go out and get a new head coach who's developed Justin Herbert into a different type of quarterback that we've seen this year. They went and got Amari Hampton to run the ball. They developed their wide receiver who we thought was a bust, and then all of a sudden the kid out of TCU, he's all of a sudden done better this year.
Jameson Williams, right?
No, he's Alabama, and he plays for Detroit. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. But you look at what other teams have done; they've caught up, and when other teams catch up, you have to pivot. And I think that's something that will happen in this offseason. Where will they pivot? I don't know. What you say is, will Andy Reid take all of that? Because Dana said that as well. He said, I'm sure there's a lot of guys that are in that room with him as well. But the thing about that is that everybody's giving him advice. Everybody's like talking in one room. But then when it all comes down, is Andy listening to those guys?
Are you listening? Yeah. Did your grandfather listen?
Oh, he did. After he kind of like.
After how long, though?
He was probably like in his early 70s.
Okay. So it took a while.
And he was always in pretty good shape, top tier shape, but could, always still do it. But it was more so like, we had to kind of like give him things to use to continue to think that he was still in control. Like we had a 4-wheeler and then we had a golf cart. It was like, hey, you can put all the stuff in the golf cart, take it down there, we'll unload it, but you're still in control. Kind of like Andy, you're still in control, but it's okay to kind of lean on other people to kind of in those situations. And I always go back to the Ned Yost thing. What he told us when we had the conversation about the 10-year anniversary was in 2014, he, still wanted to kind of be the voice and do what he was going to do. And then he was like, you know what? I realized I've got a bullpen coach. I've got a hitting coach. I've got a defensive guy. I've got, all these guys around me. Maybe let's hear what they have to say, and then we can kind of come together and figure out what the main point is. The next year they win the World Series.
Right.
Coincidence? I don't know, but it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand what Andy Reid has, what Andy Reid does, and what Andy Reid's been. I just don't want what happened in Philadelphia to happen in Kansas City.
And that's where I am too, Dusty. And I'm glad you bring that up because the way it ended in Philadelphia wasn't good. And another year where they don't make the playoffs, it's going to start trending that way, and people are going to get mad and angry. I mean, you had mentioned the firing of Andy Reid. The fact that I even saw that suggested that ML Football is the most useless X site out there. All they are is a bunch of trolls that try to get people going with irrelevant, dumb, and quite honestly at times wrong information. And the fact that they tweeted that out there yesterday, that should Andy Reid be fired, is one of the dumbest things. Andy Reid should never be fired from this organization. I don't care how bad it gets. He has been that good. He has the opportunity to go out on his own whenever he's damn ready to go out. I'm not ready for Andy to go out. I just listed a bunch of things that I was disappointed with this year. That doesn't mean I don't want Andy Reid to still be the head coach. We can have stuff that we're disappointed in our loved ones in and have the conversation, and it's okay. But, in this day and age, Dusty, as you know, if you disagree with somebody, forget about it. You can't be friends anymore. You got to fight, and it's over. But that's not the case. Andy Reid is the best at what he does, but it doesn't mean he's perfect. Patrick Mahomes is very good at what he does. Doesn't mean he's perfect. You look at Paul Skeens. Well, maybe he is perfect. I don't know. But, there are certain people out there that are as good as can be at what they do. Bobby Witt Jr., he's not perfect. He can get better. Salvador Perez is a Hall of Famer. He can get better. You have to constantly evolve every year.
Mike Garcia do in the offseason?
Got better.
Garcia had a bad season the year before. He went to George Brett and said, show me the way. No one's telling George Brett to be the hitting coach. No one's telling George Brett to go in there and talk a bunch of stuff. But if you need to have that little piece of advice, it's okay to go to that and then figure out what you need to do. Andy Reid, same type of thing. If you need to listen to somebody else to maybe change things up, because the 4th and 1 play was what somebody said was the cherry on top of out of touch that Andy was in that game. And it's 100% your defense was electric. Use that. Listen to the people around you. Say, hey, Andy, just punt it here. We'll get a stop, and then we'll have 50 yards and in instead of having to try to get this and then still go 3/4 of the field all the way down.
Especially as the Rise Amphitheater was kicking the hell out of the ball the other night, too. I mean, he was pinning everybody deep.
Yeah, he's been great all season. He's had a lot of time to showcase it, but he's been good.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of texts in here. We've gotten these texts all week and really this last month or so, and I think they're merited. I mean, we're talking about changes to the staff and specifically offensively, Andy needing help. A lot of people have brought up the offensive coordinator, which I think is a fair thing to at least think to bring up, right? He's the guy right under Andy Reid. We need change. Wouldn't you think that would be the guy to change? Now, Bob, I know why you would maybe think not that, but why
He's
not?
an offensive coordinator in name only.
So what does he do?
Great question.
Okay.
What does Andy let him do? What does Andy let anybody do? He's not the play caller.
But he also can't not be blamed for it. I'm not saying he should be, but he can't just be a neutral for everything.
Well,
net what? He's a net what? Net nothing.
I think most of the coaches are net nothings, though. I mean, Andy
That's a
Reid.
problem.
Well, it is exactly like Andy Reid. At the end of the day, has assistant coaches. It would be like giving him a running back. At the end of the day, we've presented you these running backs. Where's the use of them? I don't want to. Okay, fine. So he's going to do what he wants to do, and it's offensive coordinator in name only, in my opinion, right? Andy calls all the plays. It's Andy's offense. He's not a position coach, if you will. I don't think that change matters at all, unless Andy's going to say, hey, Matt, you're now calling all the plays, and it's your offense, and I'm just going to be the head coach. And Spags, you got the defense. Matt, you got the offense. I'm going to lunch. And we know that's never going to happen.
So obviously he's not going to call plays. That's never going to happen. So let's do that. So what does Matt Nagy do? So Matt Nagy is in that room before the game, gumming up the game plan and saying, hey, Andy, I've watched 10 hours of the film of this team. Here's 17 things that I think could work, right? And he can present that to him, right? And now it's up to Andy whether he's going to do that, right?
Yeah.
That sounds somewhat maybe accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, so then to me, it is up to, it's not necessarily fair, but it is up to this person who is Matt Nagy to get in that ear better, to somehow become more of a voice. And I don't know how you do that, but you've got to have someone who catches Andy's ear, catches Andy's eye, whatever it may be, and make him stop and think, maybe I should do that.
I don't know if that person exists, though. You're lucky you work with an older person like me who listens.
Yes.
And I'm being serious. I think I have more of a realm to speak on that because of where I am in my career, in my life, and how much I've seen this industry alone transform and change and embrace different things and new ways of doing things. And I'd like to think I've evolved. I'm still here. I'd like to think that I've evolved as this medium has evolved and changed and developed and grown and whatnot. And even if you've been in a business for a long time, no matter what it is, there's always new ways and different. It doesn't have to be necessarily new, but just different, and be willing to listen to those different ways of doing things. And so that's where it is. I think you need to listen to Brett Veach. If Brett comes to you and says, hey, Andy, I think I'm going to go out and sign this running back, you can't say no. You got to say, okay. It was like Bill Parcells. He wanted to shop for the groceries and cook the meal. You can't do that in the NFL. You've hired Brett Veach to be your GM. If he wants to go out there and bring in a running back, then he can go out there and bring in that running back. Then Andy needs to find a way to utilize that running back.
Or maybe it's time to stop hiring your best friends to do jobs underneath you.
Yep.
You've got Nagy, Todd Pinkston. You got the receiver coach as well.
The guy, Connor Embry, the receiver coach.
Tied to Andy as well.
So Todd Pinkston's the running back coach?
I believe so.
Todd Pinkston played wide receiver in the NFL. Why is he coaching the running backs? Connor Embry was a running back. Why is he coaching wide receivers? It goes back to the Juan Castillo story that I told to start the show, and I told that story wrong. And the fact of the matter is, Juan Castillo was an assistant coach on the Philadelphia Eagles for a number of years. And throughout his entire coaching career that started in 1982, in 1982, Juan Castillo, he started at Texas A&M coaching defensive line and linebacker coach. He went on to be to the Philadelphia Eagles as an offensive assistant.
Sick.
Okay? Then he was the tight ends coach. Then from 98 to 2010, he was the offensive line coach.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2011, Andy Reid made him defensive coordinator. That guy had not coached defense since the 80s in high school. And Andy Reid took a guy that was on the offensive staff since 1995 with the Philadelphia Eagles and made him the defensive coordinator.
Wow.
And he was fired a year and a half later as defensive coordinator during that 2012 season that ultimately ended Andy's tenure in Philadelphia as well. He then went on to Baltimore to be their run game coordinator, offensive line coach with the Bills, offensive analyst with Michigan, tight ends, offensive line, offense. This guy has an offensive resume, and Andy Reid made him his defensive coordinator in Philadelphia.
Sometimes just not, you overthink things. Come on. My three-point shooting coach, he's good at shooting threes. Yep. Like I don't know. Like, that's just what I'm thinking.
Steph Curry is going to teach people how to play post.
Yeah, like, now, again, I'm not like you had to play the position to coach the position, but if you were a wide receiver, and Todd Pinkston's a name everybody knows, had a nice career, why wouldn't you have a guy who played that position coach that position.
No doubt. You can ask yourself also, what year is it? Jason Pierre-Paul is now officially with the Tampa Bay Bucks, and Phillip Rivers is throwing for the Colts.
I saw the Jason I don't know which one I was more surprised at yesterday.
I mean, man, talk about it. Hey, coming up on the other side, Pete Carroll, that slimy guy, explains why he did what he did. We'll play it next on 96.5 The Fan. You're home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Bob Fescoe.
I'm surprised nobody punched him in the jaw yet.
And Dusty Likens.
He's a hoe, and I want that known.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Park and Go are absolutely ready for your holiday travels this year. And then, I talk about Park and Go all the time with friends and family, and I love when they come back from a trip and tell me how great Park and Go was. Like, how was your trip? You went to Europe for 4 months. How did you do? Oh, man, Park and Go was great. And I'm like, that's the first thing you want to talk about is how awesome Park and Go was, because they are. Every time we park with Park and Go, we have an experience that just can't be beat. This last time, we pulled in at 3:30 in the morning right to our covered parking spot that was reserved for us, and the van met us in seconds and took us to the airport terminal, and we were there in no time at all. And then we got back from our trip, and you know how it is. You got the kids, everybody's tired, you just want to get home. Well, we pulled up to the gate at 8:53. By 9:53, I was in my driveway out south. It was unbelievable how fast the service is from Park and Go. And like I said, with all covered parking, they make it so easy to park and keep your car protected and save money. Make your reservation at bookparkandgo.com and prepay, and you'll save big. Join their frequent parker program like we did it and earn points towards free parking. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
Hi, I'm Emily, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where a small box with a burgundy bow will help you win the holidays. As an in-house designer, I love creating meaningful, fine jewelry gifts. Choose a necklace with a gorgeous infinity charm to symbolize your everlasting love. Or go for a personalized piece with an engraving, their zodiac sign, favorite color gemstone, or their initial accented with pave diamonds, because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Stop by or shop now at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Presenting Again Fling's love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Imagine being a million miles away. Tremfya Kuselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit Tremfya.com.
You know, there's millions of people without the health insurance they need. I get it. You feel like it's too pricey, a headache to deal with. You deserve something better. And better health. We're on a mission to get everyone high-quality, affordable health insurance. You have health insurance needs. We have plans with low out-of-pocket premiums, with in-network preventive care at no cost to you, and a network of local doctors and hospitals. So if you're still shopping for health insurance, go to ambetterhealth.com/enroll to get your free, no-obligation quote. That's ambetterhealth.com/enroll. For coverage to start January 1st, you must enroll by December 15th. Find the plan that's right for you right now. ambetterhealth.com/enroll. Ambetter Health, on a mission for better. Ambetter Health is the brand name for health insurance products underwritten by subsidiaries of Centene Corporation. Go to ambetterhealth.com to see offerings in your state. This is a solicitation for insurance.
Back into it. I want to get to this because I was fuming because, yes, I understand it's my fault. It's gambling. I shouldn't do it, but I do it anyway. Let me live my life. Pete Carroll on his explanation about kicking the field goal at the end of the game and killing the over and the spread.
Well, if you notice, I was battling with the official, making a plea because we saw 8 seconds, 7, which would have given us a chance to kick the field goal, kick an onside kick, and maybe have a second left. And then when it went down to 5 or went down to 3 or whatever they did, and then they put it back to 5 or whatever, then I knew it was going to look stupid. Like you couldn't figure out why we were doing it. So, but one, it was 8. And I was trying to get it to 10. I was talking 10, with the guy trying to get it back up. And I thought I'd had a chance to plead it and plead it, and they might give me a shot. And so, I was just competing all it was, but fans couldn't understand. Like you're asking the question, but there was a real clear thought what we were trying to get done there, just to take it down to the very last click.
Mm-hmm.
It's a decent explanation.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Guilty.
I mean, it's nice to hear what's going on inside their
makes
heads,
sense.
though. Yeah, like how they I was more intrigued with
an alibi.
how you came to this decision, though. I'd like him talking about it. I'm like, that's interesting. Like, it just kind of takes you into first of all, what goes on the sidelines and how fast you got to think down there on those sidelines. Like, we're watching the game on TV and we just think, oh, it's easy to call the play or do all that or make a decision. It is not. And you're moving down there at the speed of light. You're arguing with an official. The play clock's ticking off. You got to figure out all this kind of stuff. And then, all right, here we are, So I like the explanation that he gave because it kind of gave me something that I've never really heard before about a real why, if you will, as to what was going on down there on the sidelines. I'd like to hear Andy Reid's take us through that fourth down. And I hate when people say, take us through, like, just ask the question that you wanted to ask.
He doubled down on it.
But I would love to see and hear what Andy Reid was thinking. What made you decide to go for it? Why did you decide that play? All of that stuff and how quickly that happens and how fast you've got to be thinking. But also it goes to show you always have to be at least one play ahead. And that's what Al Saunders used to tell me when he was teaching me how to call plays and run offenses back in the day when he was the OC of the Chiefs and the Rams. You always got to be one play ahead. All right, here's our play right now. If it works, we've got 3 plays from the works column and 3 plays from the didn't works column. Then we got to pick out which one doesn't work. So you're always, working ahead in those situations. And that's why I go back to that 4th and 1. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. But I like the explanation by Pete Carroll. Do I buy it? I don't know. But I like the explanation. I like how it was well thought out. He had a night to sit on it and think about it, right?
So, Mac, you and the fiancé, are you guys Stranger Things fans?
We are not.
Okay. So, the final season is being released in bits and pieces. It's annoying. It's been like 10 years since they've...
they're not even doing it all at once? They're doing
it's like 4 are out right now.
Okay.
They came out on Thanksgiving. Ridiculous. And then 2 are coming out on Christmas. Jeez. And then 1 comes out on New Year's Eve.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
But it was funny because in this newest season, they have a girl that's a character. Her name is Rockin' Robin. She does radio. The town shut down because of all the stuff that's going on. And you're doing the Rockin' Robin.
Yeah. Tweet. Yeah, I was too.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting because they do radio and it's 1983. And all the drops that you do with the click of the mouse, Fast Hand Steve. he's back there,
With the
and
carts,
every drop
yeah.
he's got to put in and hit the
Oh,
button,
nice.
put in the
Cart,
clip
yeah.
and hit a button. I was like, damn, radio's so much easier today than it used to be.
I mean, when I first started at KMBZ, I was doing Royals pre and post, like interning, right? And I had to actually like splice the tape and whatnot to cut the highlights. Like you have the reel-to-reel machine, and you listen for the highlight, and you record real fast, so you would catch it and then stop at the end, and like there was no editing on the computer.
And counting how long those breaks were, all those stories. I'm like, geez.
Yeah, I mean, they have
Lucky me.
streamlined it. Obviously, eliminated a lot of jobs by doing that.
For sure.
You know, but they have streamlined it, made it easier, you know, for a lot of people. My kids are into Stranger Things, and my oldest daughter's watched that movie, or watched that show, and she was watching it on Thanksgiving, and my like 9-year-old nephew's just standing behind her watching it the entire time with her. Like, he doesn't have the earbuds in, he's reading the subtitles. I'm like, what are you doing, dork?
Yeah,
but that's because his mom won't let him do anything, and so here cousin Delaney's around, so I'm going to sit here and watch this because my mom won't let me do anything fun.
That's how it works every single time.
It is.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's been good. It's been a decent season. It's just like first episode was like an hour and 5 minutes. Next episode's like 57. Then the next two are like an hour and 20, an hour and 20. And then I guess the season finale, or the series finale, I should say, is like almost 2 hours long.
Yeah,
and they're
that's
going to have it
fine.
in some
Yeah.
movie theaters. I
Oh,
guess.
they are? Oh,
I think
that's
they're going
cool.
to have like availability to it. So now it's been a good show. And like, I feel like you would enjoy it.
I started to watch the first episode. I got scared. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, stop.
I was like, I just can't. I don't know. It just kind of freaked me out. I was like, I was only 5 minutes in. Maybe. Why would I like it, though? Tell me more.
You'll get a lot of the 80s references. Like, you would watch that radio segment and be like, I know exactly what that is. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I've been there before when that, because I remember when I interned way back in the day, there were still tapes on the wall.
Yeah,
of
exactly, yeah.
of interviews where like you would just go and like that's how they would do it. And they would interview a guy, they would tape it, and then he would go back and listen to it. And then they'd be like, all right, at 2:15, we're going to play that interview, have it ready. They'd take the tape out, put it in the recorder, and then it'd be like, all right, here's, you know, whoever. And they'd hit play and the tape would roll. And it's just crazy to think, but there's a lot of like references to what you would like. I think if you gave it a chance, you would enjoy it.
Okay. And I'll be honest with you. I love the Discover card commercial for Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're talking about it was because it's the 80s and they're talking about the cashback. Like, I remember those commercials. Everybody's like, cashback on Discover. What does that mean? You know? And then nobody took Discover
And
card.
it's cool how they use like old actors. Like Linda Hamilton is in this new season.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Like she's in this. Paul Reiser was in the last season.
I thought we lost Paul for some
He's
reason.
there. And then what's his name? The guy that played Private Joker in Full Metal Jacket, Matthew Bean, or what's his name? Gosh, what is his name? Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. But he's in it. Matthew Berry. It's not Matthew Berry. That's a guy on like Sunday Night Football.
You said old for Linda Hamilton.
Yeah, she looks older in the show.
Do you know how old she is?
68.
69.
Nice.
I would have guessed a lot older.
That's Sarah Connor, baby. You better believe it. Is she still married to James Cameron?
Matthew Modine.
Matthew Modine, that's the guy. Yeah, he's the coward in The Dark Knight Rises.
She left him in 99.
Oh, nice. Avatar is too much.
Years ago.
He's like, here's the deal. We're going to tie each other's ponytails together and fly around. I'm out.
Have you seen Super 8, Bob?
No.
By Spielberg? Yeah, it was similar nostalgia kind of factor. I'd figure that. It's a good movie. But
What's it called? Super 8?
Super 8, yeah.
And what's it about?
It's in the 80s, and it's these kids who make movies, and then all of a sudden a real train crash happens, and S hits the fan. It's really fun. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, nostalgia, good stuff.
Kind of like Stand By Me?
Similar.
You haven't seen Stand By Me?
Not.
Solid movie.
Really good. Coming of age movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Based on the book The Body.
All right.
By Stephen King, I think. Could be wrong. Richard Dreyfuss is great in that movie.
I think we're going to start Stranger Things. I watched the first 2 seasons when it came out, and I loved it.
You did love it?
Yeah, I
And
loved
you
it
weren't
when it
scared
came
by
out.
it? Because I mean, the first couple minutes, I'm like, I don't know about this.
It's scary, but no, I was not going to watch. It was fun. Yeah, I
You'll
loved
enjoy it.
Yeah.
You'll come back and be like, you know what? Christmas break, watch a bunch of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I'm caught up. It's awesome. It's great. Because like by New Year's Day, it should be all available and done.
How
So
many
you-
seasons is it? 5?
This is 5, but they started it back in 2016.
Yeah, it's been going forever, right?
Yeah.
When these kids were kids.
Right. Like now I looked at it yesterday because I was watching it. I was on IMDb and I'm like, okay, Millie Bobby Brown, she's 22.
Yeah.
The other characters are like 23, 24.
Mhm.
And I'm like, they're supposed to be seniors in high school or juniors in high school.
It's amazing when you look back at how many of those shows that portrayed high school kids and how old those guys and gals really were that were acting like Saved by the Bell. They're like in their 40s.
Or if you go back and look at The Breakfast Club.
Yes, I was watching that the other day.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I was taking it from, because Emilio Estevez was like 24 or 25.
I bet you from that Natural Born Lives.
Yeah, when he did that's a great movie, man. I was just watching it. I watched it the other day, The Breakfast Club. It's just so good. Again, a coming of age John Hughes, type of movie.
Everyone says watch Welcome to Deary.
Welcome to Deary.
It's like the It background.
Oh,
you find out like where Pennywise came from and all that. By the way, James Shields' favorite band, Pennywise it is. So I have to check that out.
Oh yeah, it's one season. Welcome to Derry.
That's kind of the new thing now. All right, we're not going to do reboots. We're going to do prequels.
I kind of dig that.
I do too. Well. Yeah, I do too. It's different. And
then what do? You go watch it.
Yeah, but it's better than doing like a reboot. Like I was watching the Everybody Loves Raymond 30th episode, 30th year reunion the other day. And they were saying, we're never going to do a reboot. First of all, 3 of our people are dead. And second of all, like, it just wouldn't be good. It was good for what it was. We don't need to do it again.
This guy joins us tomorrow. Better believe it. Go do something nice for somebody today. Know, change their day, their week, their month, their year. It's simply cool to care. Kansas City, stay kind, stay safe, stay groovy. Coming up next is Cody Golden Drew from 10 to 2. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Good morning, Kansas City. This